Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings. And right now, I am not muted, right? So, anyway, how's everything going? How's everyone doing? I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone is ready for the countdown to the. Oh, wait a minute. There is no countdown now to the Haslab because Hasbro went and they screwed the show up. They completely screwed the whole idea of counting down. Now, I know a lot of other people decided to go live so they could do it. So I decided that since I'm not going to go late today, we're going to do a bonus show tomorrow, starting at 11 p.m., going into the Haslab. But it's not just going to be me. It's going to be Matthew Matson. It's going to be Black Genghis. And it's going to be Tony Figs. The four of us are going to be counting down the Haslab, talking about the Haslab, the old Haslab, what's to come, and then where it ends up. So anyway, tune in tomorrow. That will be up shortly. Anyway, other than that, it looks like we will be getting a wonderful Haslab, which we already knew, but we're going to be getting all the tiers. Not that I was ever too concerned that we weren't going to get it. So anyway, let's get into it. The chat is already going. We got 23 people in. Hit that like button. We can only mention it so many times exactly how much it does help. So quickly, we'll start off with Dan71, a new channel member. Thank you very much. And I'm going to be talking about that in a minute. Matthew Matson, the moderator, you guys know him. What he says goes, but we haven't had any issues. And I don't think we're going to have any issues anytime soon. Mr. Demark, sad that I'm missing out on this one also. Hey, you know what? You can always tune in later on. You know how this thing goes. It's going to be rambling. It's going to go on for 3 hours. I got my nap in today. My little half-hour nap. PNC. Hey, listen. This Thursday, I'll be talking with PNC. So tune in to that. This guy is a video game freak. So we're going to learn a lot about his video game collection. Mr. Wonderful. If you haven't yet, check out his. I'm just going down the road. Check out his Kickstarter. Hexastack. Again, it's a really good idea. Support people, especially support good people. Super Tizzo is in the house. We got Ray Paz, who I see all over the place. Johnny Reno. We got Shark Eyes, who I will have on in a few weeks now. Viper Scout is here. And then Ted Darkloff from Hella Dope Toys. Listen, if you're looking for toys, if you're looking for an online supplier, check them out. Again, support people in the community that are trying to make it better and are good people. They are good people, and that's all that I can say. That is the best thing that someone can say about you, right? And then let's see here. Being a fine figure. Hello. God, I'm going to say that I don't remember seeing you, and if I am wrong, I apologize. But hey, you know what? You start getting a whole bunch of people in, especially right off the bat, then you know what? So, I didn't do any notes. I was actually so excited that I pretty much got the whole presentation done. I had to do a little bit of tinkering this week, or today, not this week, today, but I pretty much got everything in. Let's say hi to Alice and Troy, another channel member. I forgot to mention that PNC is also a channel member. And if you don't know this, we have started a Discord for all the super, what did I call it again? Super toy enablers. So, let's talk about that really quick. And I'm going to show you really quick on this slideshow that, guess what? I don't even have up. All right. Oops. Not what I was looking for. Present really quick. So a couple things. I did put out a small video talking about the channel memberships. I didn't plan on doing that. YouTube wants you to, if you have a channel memberships, to do a small video. And I was thinking I could link it to it. And that's what I was trying to do. And unfortunately, I had to do a whole video so I could tie it up. So it's not really what I was looking to do, but I had to do it. So anyway, the channel memberships is it's been mentioned before, there's 99 cents. It's really just to support the channel. All the work that goes into this and everything that goes behind the scenes that you don't see. But you get little icons, shows that your name, shows that your name. I give you shout outs. I respond to almost every single person. I shout out almost everybody. And then there is the $2.99 that we have. And what you get with that is when I do a batch of videos, batch of reviews, I'll just do a whole bunch together. So if I do like 5 of them, I will put them all out so you can see them first. And then I'll also do at times some of my B-rolls and different things like that. But the other things that we added is the Discord. So that's for $2.99. You get to be part of the private Discord. I know people may wonder why you would do something like that, but what it does is it just keeps out the trolls and other people like that aren't really part of the channel. They just want to troll you. If you're going to be paying a little bit of money per month, it says, hey, you know what? Let's give you something else. We're going to be interactive with it. So as right now, it's just me and Allison, and Matthew Madsen also is in it, but he's not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of the Discord. The other thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be selling some 3D printed stuff. So quickly, I want to show you here. Everyone has seen this armory in the back that's been sitting here. So I'm going to be selling some of these. So like this here is $30. Now there are pieces that will go up in here. These do open. All right, there's a piece in here so you can hold all the weapons and different things like that. But something like this is $30. If you are a channel member, I will be giving you a 10% discount on anything. So for the $2.99, you get a 10% discount. So if you buy one of these, you're going to pay for it right away. I have these for sale. All right, these are $10. They're armory kits. They actually hold stuff. I got black and gray. And then I have these ones here that I know everyone has seen. These are $8. And people seem to really like them. So if you are interested, you can hit me up on punkwithtoys@gmail.com. I'm not going to continue to push this. I will let you guys know that I have stuff. But that is it. That's all about the channel membership. And I was actually going to show this really quick so you get a better look at it. So this is the 3 things that I have right now. Again, if you guys are interested, just hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me. So, all right. Sometimes it's weird. You're kind of just talking to yourself. And I haven't even got into anything yet. And we got a 3-hour show to get through. So, as I mentioned, as more people have kind of strolled in, we will not be doing the Plus show. The Plus show will be tomorrow. So, as I did mention, I was planning on going probably till 12:30, 1 o'clock after the Haslab had ended, so we could see where it actually finally ended up at. But unfortunately, hold on, I'm eclectic. I like this one. A Punk with Home Shopping Network. All right, that made me laugh. It's hi to James Lucas. I always like saying hi to everyone. What up, party people? Hope everyone is having a good Monday. I said the hell with the work and took today off. He called in. He's not even saving lives today. He's here bugging people. And Action Figs, we always got to say hi to Action Figs. So anyway, what I was mentioning is I was going to go late because we were going to talk about the Haslab, where it ended and everything. Unfortunately, there was some snafu according to Hasbro. Now, I don't know what it was. I don't even care what it is. They extended a day. It kind of is an inconvenience because I was looking forward to us being able to talk about it. So what I decided that, hey, you know what? We're going to go live tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an hour before, and I'm going to get a few buddies. So if you're tuning in right now, 45 of you now, Matthew Madsen, he's going to be there, the moderator. So if you haven't seen him on Punks on Film, you can finally see exactly what he looks like, what he sounds like. But you should be watching that since you guys all wanted it. We got Anthony Romo. He is going to be there. I know I just shouted him out. And Black Genghis from, he's kind of part of a toy kind of mood, but he just started his own channel. So it's going to be wonderful to get him on here. So we're going to be talking the Haslab, the previous Haslab, this Haslab, what might be coming, all that type of stuff. Pretty much, we're just going to ramble on because Hasbro screwed me over. So this week, I did get a few pickups. So I was able to get the Tiger Force Dusty. I actually really like this Dusty. I never had Tiger Force. I was never a big fan of Tiger Force. Like, it was at the end of my thing. But picking this figure up, I think I actually like him better than the original Dusty. And his gun is actually straight, which is nice. Proving once again that Hasbro can make straight guns. And then I got the Python Patrol Crimson Guard. And I know a lot of people say Crimson Guard, Python. That doesn't make any sense. He's not Crimson, but he has Crimson accents. And look at that. He has a straight gun too. So again, Hasbro can do it with the weapons, the plastic that they're using. And then I got the new Black Widow. And this is another Target exclusive. I really like this. I know it's kind of a woke figure. Anything female is woke now, in my opinion. But it comes with 3 different heads. I think this figure is good, but let me tell you something. If you have the original Scarlet, get like her face sculpt. And I never really had an issue with her original face sculpt. Because I don't know where it's at. Here it is. Here's the original face sculpt. If you don't know what it looks like, maybe. That light's really causing a problem. This is exciting. Anyway, the original face sculpt. This is one of the Black Widow faces, and I think it looks absolutely awesome on her. Wish I could turn it to get it right. This thing looks awesome. This thing is perfect. You guys hear Roman? It looks like you are. And let's say Digital Diarrhea. He's also going to be in here. No, hey, stop messing with the Motu stuff. I guess he doesn't like the Motu stuff either, guys. Anyway. All right. So a lot to get into. Listen, 46 people. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. And then let's get into everything. Because again, there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. We're still going to talk about the Haslab. Because I'm sure not everyone's going to be able to join in tomorrow. And again, everyone was planning on going live today to try and take my spot. But we're not going to let them. All right. We already know what's going to happen. So, we're just going to take everyone else's spot tomorrow. All right. So let's start off with some Masters of the Universe Sunman stuff. And I'm sorry. I really like Sunman. I am happy that they brought it into the lore. But man, some of these are awful. So you have this yellow one that looks like a cross between the Juggernaut and is it what was it? Not Psylocke. Who was the GI Joe with the awful Psych Out? Awful. And then you got Pizza Man here, and then you got Sprocket Boy that looks like an American Gladiator. Can say I'm not a fan of these. I hate to say this, but just wait till they're on discount because they will be 50% off soon enough. Let's see quickly here. I wasn't gonna back the Haslab, but now I have an extra day to think. Well, you've had 45 days to think about it. Listen, I think it's a great deal. I'm really happy. What do you need, buddy? Go. You need to go outside? All right, of course. Look, this is fun. 1 second. Let's hit mute. All right. I say hi to Cobweb. Check out Cobweb. He's starting his own channel. He's starting to put stuff out there. Again, help support everyone that's out here. And I'm sorry, Chaz just tuned in. I picked up my Masterverse Webster yesterday. He looks badass. All right, so the Sunman. Now this is the artwork. I don't know. Like this guy here, he looks like a bad Juggernaut. Just doesn't look good. You get Pizza Man here, and you get the American Gladiators. I don't like. I understand we are going back to the 80s, but almost like what was she thinking when she created them? I mean, I understand what she was creating. She only had so much, but I like Sunman. I like Pighead. I think some of those are really nice. This just looks like look around my kitchen and what do I have that I can put on a figure. So here we have all the figures. Now here's Duplico. Now Duplico is going for some crazy money recently on eBay, but from what I understand, he's starting to hit or about to go up for pre-order on Walmart. So if you don't have Duplico, just hold off. He will be available from what it looks like. Here's the whole back of the Sunman and Rulers of the Sun. Again, wonderful artwork. I've mentioned before, top notch. Mattel, their Master Universe, they do a wonderful job, second to none. There's no doubt about that. Now this is pretty interesting. Now I know nothing about the Rulers of the Sun other than what we've seen before, and what I've learned so far. But this is interesting, and these are some unique figures that you could definitely use as baddies with any of your Masters of the Universe. And I gotta say, I hope they make some glow in the dark ones because they got the glow in the dark skeletons coming, so that would be pretty cool. Even this guy back right here, I forget what his name is. He has a sash that goes across that's glow in the dark, just like the Scareglow. And again, I mentioned before, the Scareglow is the best glow in the dark figure that I've ever seen. I turned the lights on for like 2 minutes, and that thing is glowing. All right, so this came out today. Check out Geek Dad Life. I know he put a video out. There's a whole bunch of them. So this goes back to the Revelations cartoon at the end of it. And this figure is going to be Mattel Creations. I didn't even check to see what the price was. So if someone knows what the price is, post it down here. Hey, he does. Does the guy not look like the American Gladiators? Which I gotta watch that American Gladiators. It keeps popping up on Netflix, and my ex said it's really good, so I'm definitely interested in it. But this thing popped up. Now she is 65. So it's a pricey piece. I'm guessing it'll probably still be there for quite some time. It probably won't ever go on clearance because it's Mattel Creations exclusive. Now she is like 12 inches. Her wingspan, I believe, they said is 24 inches, and you can see just how big she is, but it's in scale with the actual figures of what she was in the cartoon. So you got Skeletor sitting right there. I like the cartoon. I know a lot of people hated it. I think it's actually pretty good. So here's the box, kind of how she comes. She does come with a stand, probably because she's so heavy. Unfortunately, Jay from Geek Dad Life said a lot of it feels the plastic seems kind of cheap, but he did mention it may have to do with what they needed to do just to get her to stand and get these big wings. But I didn't notice that he mentioned anything about the big stand that comes with her. So here she is showing that she can compete with the gargoyles. I know I was watching something. Someone made a comment about having to buy an extra figure to get draped wings with it. Shot at the gargoyles. Oh wait, looks like we got a nice little Nitro with the big Pugo stick. Listen, all I know is what keeps popping up in the preview. What keeps popping up in the preview on Netflix, and it's hilarious. They're like, no one thought of first aid except for some band-aids. It's like, I guess you don't really think about that, especially when that had started, and the fact that it was all real, and not really thinking that, hey, you know what? There's going to be other people that are just as rough as us. But here's Skeletor on one knee. They obviously did this to make her look that much bigger, but you can already see how big she is. And I guess if it came with this light, I mean, kind of like McFarlane is doing with some of his exclusives when it comes to light, this might be something that people really, really do like. So, all right, guys, that is it for Master of the Universe. Y'all can tune back in. I saw it drop from like 45 to 40 down to 39. All right, Jurassic Park. So some of you guys are going to tune out again. Again, I'm not a Jurassic Park person. I will not be covering Jurassic Park or dinosaurs, really, but this is something kind of interesting. Again, I won't be picking it up, but I do think this was pretty cool. Yes, Cobra Commander. She's at the end of it when Skeletor finds out the whole Hordak thing. I don't believe it's very long, to be honest, because I had completely forgotten. I kind of got to go rewatch it before the new one comes out. And let's see, Matthew says, yeah, Motu is over now. Now's the real show. Oh, no, Jurassic Park. Hey, listen. This is only in here because of Steven Spielberg, okay? And I think this is a really cool touch. If you collect, any type of 1/18 scale, you could just have a Steven Spielberg filming on the aircraft carrier if you have an aircraft carrier. I really don't care about all the other stuff. But I just thought some of these scenes were pretty cool that they were doing, watching him just, do his actions. So, again, pretty cool, to be honest. Again, if you're into that. If you're not into it, then hey, you know what? Pass on it. It's this crazy concept that if you don't, like something because of the size, then you don't have to buy it. I know, but I also rag on things too that I don't like. Super 7. And again, I just think some of this is pretty cool. I mean, I think some of these, like these shots that they did, they just look really cool. And like I said, if you want to imagine Steven Spielberg actually making a good GI Joe movie, you can do it now, because God knows we're not going to get one. He'll probably even put a Cobra Commander with a hood on it, if you believe it or not. And he got his little chair. So, and there he is with his. I hear some people kind of complaining about the shirt, but the shirt doesn't bother me because I wore really huge shirts as a kid. I was a skateboarder, and I looked like a ball of clothes when I would fall. One of my friends told me. All right. So here is the whole set that you're gonna get. Again, they all look pretty cool. I mean, you can even do shots with any of your Joes. Maybe some of the Joe Dino Hunters. Didn't they have that? I didn't know Joe at the end. I was an 80s kid, and that's what I collected, and that's what I know. So, Big Bacon says, where's his I Hate Indie shirt? Different properties, so they can't do that yet. Wait a minute, I like this one here. Matthew Matson, Spielberg and Joker stack of cash. That would be pretty cool. And the Lilith, how are you doing? These toy photographers you see are based off some of the real life behind the scenes of Jurassic Park photographs that were taken back in the day. Yep. The toy photographers are amazing these days. I gotta say, like, some of you guys do some amazing work. All right. I threw this in here when I was I was trying to build up to the countdown to the Haslab. And I missed putting this in last week because I thought it was so atrocious. And it is. So this was supposed to be the 85th anniversary edition. Now, the cover here doesn't look awful. Although the figure. This could be the worst figure of the year. Falcon head sculpt, take a seat. It might have been John on Geek Dead Life. One of them had mentioned how It looks like someone from PETA threw paint on him or blood on him, and I just couldn't get over that. And then they made comment how the DC looks like a cake topper for like a birthday. Just I don't know, man. Just that guy will. Uncle Todd will just splash some paint on any type of figure and just call it like a new figure, call it a release. It's so bad. It's so bad. But at least it does cover up if he has the ugly face or the really bad body. I'm leaving this up so you guys can all admire it. And then here's another one. I don't understand. I mean, I don't know anything about this. But here you have it. If you need this in your DC multiverse here, I'm sure someone will like this. It doesn't look like a bad figure other than it's a McFarlane figure. Again, I'm not a fan of most of their stuff. The guy does have some nice legs, though. You gotta give him that. He is doing squats. He is not skipping leg day, which is good. I skip leg day. I skip every day nowadays. You gotta get back into that. Jeffrey Smith says someone was smoking the wrong stuff, making that Superman. It's just bad, man. Superman after crash into a paint factory. That's like, yeah. Hey, if that was the figure, it would make more sense, would it not? You got the Lilith. This Superman looks like someone puked red and blue on Superman on 4th of July. What do you know about it? Aren't you in Australia? What do you know about 4th of July? I'm just messing with you. And let's say hi to Night Force Kimberlyn. How appropriate with us getting 2 Night Force figures with the Haslab that does not end today, that ends tomorrow. So. But we will be talking Haslab. If anyone is wondering, will be talking Haslab because it is going to. I think it's going to surpass 22,000 fairly easily. And we're even going to talk about why they extended it. We're just going to come up with our theories of why they may have. So here he is with his fire sword and his fire eyes. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. But he's a Dread Lantern. I don't know. If you like it, there it is. I think Robo says it best. If you like it, there it is. If you don't, walk by it. All right, so this was one that I really thought I liked at first. I talked about the import that's much more expensive, Bane and Batman. I like the color, and then I see that it is cell shaded, and I think it looks awful. You look at his cowl, and you can see the black and the shading, and it doesn't really work. Well, Jay, that is yes, Hasbro likes that money, but that's what a multi-billion-dollar corporation likes, is money. That is why they are what they are. I mean, backwards, yes, they added another day of the Haslab, and that is why, as I mentioned, we will be going live tomorrow at 11 o'clock, counting it down. Myself, Matthew Matson, Tony Romo, and Black Genghis, Kevin Johnson. And hi, Payne, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Always nice to see Payne. Check out his channel. Well, he's not doing it Friday. He's doing it on Sunday. So don't be looking for him on Friday. So anyway, I like the Batman. I do not like the cell shading. I think this is probably the best Batman. And I know John last night on Geek Ted Life was talking about how he wanted the Bane to come back out so you could have him kind of breaking, and they all agreed there's 100% chance that there will be a 2-pack of Batman and Bane with probably Bane breaking Batman. So just hold off. If that's what you want, just hold on. Yeah. So here he is again. This was my favorite story of Batman. I really got into it. And again, if you know anything about this, a lot of people think Bane was just some big, stupid muscle guy. He was very smart. He 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 figured out exactly who Batman was, and he sent all the other bad guys to basically beat him down to when he could just easily wipe the floor with them, and that's exactly what he did. Um, I'll get the Mafex if I want Nightfall stuff. Hey, no, I understand, but this is much cheaper. Like I said, there will be a 2-pack probably for $45. So again, I think the Batman looks awesome. I just don't like the cell shading. That's the one I don't care for. And I like everything that he does come with. Again, this is, in my opinion, the best style of Batman in the comics. So then we get this another repaint of Mr. Freeze. I just think this thing looks really cool. This could be your this could be a snow trooper, a snow bat if you wanted to go with your Arctic bat. This could be an Arctic diver that gets dropped into the ocean to go look for submersibles that go looking for the Titanic. I don't know what it is. There's just something about this I think that looks really cool. And I really like the white. I think it really works here. So I just kind of threw it in there. All his weapons. Again, this thing can be used for so many different things. So many different lines. Just because it looks really cool. Which, cool toys is really what this is about, right? Or else I wouldn't have so many stupid things around me. Allison says, wait, is this thing cell shaded? I might reconsider my statement from 15 seconds ago. Yes, if you look at the head and everything, there is some cell shading. Again, I don't really understand why he did that, but he did. Arctic mole rat. That's not a bad idea. Though if you're a mole rat, does it really matter from what it looks like? We're gonna talk about that one. So here he is. I just think he's a big cool guy that isn't like the big muscular guy. He's just in this suit and just have the eyes that are popping out. So another Joker. Allison, what are we up to right now? How many Batmans has he announced since we started this stream? Allison can keep a tab in the Discord too. So also I gotta mention, yeah. So if you do join the that membership level, there is I will continuously or periodically, not continuously, periodically send out the link to it in that chat, because you can see private. When I do community tabs, I can send out the different levels. I'm just going on and on right now. I do like this one. I like the fact that you can just get a clown head if you want. It doesn't look anything like the Joker. So if you are interested in this, there it is for you. I gotta say the clown mask looks really good. It takes away from what you see a lot of his figures. Let's say hi to Oz. Nice to see you. It's great to have everyone here. 52 people. Everyone hit that like button. Let's hit 100 likes today. If we hit 100 likes, next week we'll do a giveaway of this minty fresh spirit that I have with a little sniper. He's no longer a tracker. He's a sniper because trackers are offensive. So 100 likes before the end of this stream, which will be sometime after midnight. And next week, we will give that away live. I'll figure out how to do it live rather than how we normally do things. Or I don't know. We'll figure something out. All right? So there you go. That is the goal. That's the first time I'm doing a like challenge goal. We got 55 people. Let me tell you, a lot of people scroll through here. Oh, and there he is. Usual Mike. Listen, I got to say something to you. And not in a bad way. I came off really bad. I'm going to remove this really quick. Usual Mike, I had made a comment about where all my Australian friends last week, and he watched the stream after the replay, and he commented and said, "Hey, you know what? Most of us are still working right now. Listen, I love that you guys come in. I also love that you guys watch the replay. That really means a lot because it means that, hey, there's something that you guys are getting out of this, some sort of entertainment. So, again, 100 likes before the end of the stream, and next week we will give away this spirit. I know I'm not as fancy as some channels that have expensive stuff. But I've had this thing sitting here for quite some time. So, and I already have one. I know, shocker, right? I have a classified figure. So, 100 likes before the end of the stream. I'm going to see how many people really do watch it. We'll continue to mention this. All right. Let's get back to this. Let's say hi to Jay. I did not say hi to Jay earlier. You know, Cobra never really had a designated sniper. I don't know. I believe you. Another sniper. Joe team plays dirty with all the sniping. Cobra needs to kill them all. Man, Drab, that was pretty brutal right away. That went really like boom, right to it. And Matt O'Brien, listen, I know I listen. When you're building your fan base, you gotta say hi to everyone. Happy Monday. And to those of you who dropped out of the Haslab, you didn't like Glenda, I have a spare one for you at a reasonable price of $800. Matt, that is the right way to do it. But listen, I'm just gonna say, hey, does anyone have one at cost for me and my kid? He really wants it. Yeah. Ray Pass says, that spirit is awesome. Lots of cool accessories. I already have one. Hope he gets a home with a person who doesn't own one. It is a really good figure, and I'm not even a spirit fan. And that goes back to someone in the cartoon thought that he could actually beat up Storm Shadow. What the hell? So anyway, 100 likes. We already got 60 people, so we should have 60 likes, right? I can't really see what the like button is, so I'll let Matthew tell me as we go along what we're at. All right, but let's get off this guy because I'm tired of looking at this stupid Joker, his pinned arms. Again, I think the figure looks pretty good, but so if you want it. All right, Marvel Legends here. So here we have a Spider-Man, and does this guy just have a movie? Just not this. 6 arms if you're into it. Alvin Little says 54 likes. All right, guys. So that's pretty good. 56 now, Ray says. So listen, we'll continue to say it. Listen, I know that more than enough. Thank you, Morbius. My son went and saw this movie. Oh man, I should have him do a breakdown of it. He said it was just awful in such a bad way. So much so that when it was free, I didn't even bother to watch it. This Spider-Man just kind of creeps me out. Anytime you give me extra arms like this, it's just kind of creepy. And I don't know. But if you want it, there it is. Lots of pin joint. Like, see, this is where pinned really looks bad. Like, it really stands out um, in the blue. Now, why you wouldn't paint that blue, I don't know. But I think if you're a customizer, you would be painting that pretty damn quickly. Uh, here's the packaging for it, and it's, I don't know. I'm never a Spider-Man comic fan. I mean, I think Spider-Man is an amazing look. Aesthetically, looks really good, but just not a fan of it. I said it was a blah vampire movie. Yeah, I heard it was a bad movie. um, a very bad movie. Yeah, Alvin Little Mobius was on Netflix. It did suck. Um, and my son and his buddy went to see it, and they just literally were just destroying it. Okay. Here's the back of it. So you don't get very much. As again, Marvel Legends. I don't know why they do this. They made a mistake with this Black Widow for $28, giving you a whole bunch of accessories. And yes, a lot of them are reuses from what people are saying. I don't collect Marvel Legends that much. But again, throw in some reuse. No one really cares. No one's going to get that upset about it. Again, decent looking figure if you like Morbius. But yes. And there he is. I don't know. He looks stupid. I think I already showed this one. All right, so here is the Deadpool and Agent Bob Hydra figure. This is this is one of the Comic-Con exclusives. Hi, buddy. I know. I didn't get many pictures. Now, I did find a couple things odd about this, and I don't know why. I wasn't able to find all the stuff that they came with. But it looks like he uses, and now they were very adamant about the fact that they do not cross over the weapons. It's like, so like they don't reuse GI Joe weapons. And GI Joe doesn't use anything of theirs, which I think makes no sense. But this Uzi looks very much like the Uzi that does come with Snake Eyes. So I'm a little confused on that, but good. Now this is just a Hydra repaint. The guy that was on Geek Dad Life yesterday from Super 7 was saying that all these colored accessories, I guess there was a leak. I did not see the leak. That they are going to make sense why his swords are blue and different things like that. So, again, if you want it, it's going to be there. Now, this is an all-new, I don't know if it's an all-new, I believe it uses the Spider-Man buck because it does have toe articulation. And these Hydra figures are actually pretty cool. But, again, this is the type of thing that is a Target, or not, a Comic-Con exclusive. This is what makes sense, to be honest. Okay, so Scott says Punisher came with that Uzi in black. Okay, so then maybe it is different than the one that came with Snake Eyes, because I was really, like, everything that I heard is that they do not cross over. I don't know if it's maybe a licensing agreement that they're not allowed to cross over. But like Hasbro, like even the blast effects, they don't cross those blast effects over. So where they would be able to cross, let's say, the Transformer stuff and the GI Joe stuff. So this is both owned by Hasbro. But I thought this figure was the same one that I have back there, but this one has toe articulation. Again, it looks cool. I like the pointy fingers. That's actually pretty damn cool. Since Scott says it's almost exactly like, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, it's an Uzi. But it just looks so close that I just like, okay. But now that you mentioned, I do remember seeing that Punisher one. God, I wish I had that figure. That's some good Punisher figures. You just sent me the images. I don't know where you sent them to. I can't put these on though. Damn it. I need to have you send me this stuff. Okay, yeah, so let's see if we can do this quickly here. I'm going to remove this. All right, so I can't really see that, especially with that on. So yeah, there were some things that ain't gonna work. Thank you, Jeremy. So he comes with the Uzi, and he comes with like a Mac 10 and some fists. But all the stuff that Deadpool comes with, from what they said, is I guess there are certain things that are out there. Sorry. That I guess there were some spoilers that you'll be able to see exactly what it is, the reason why he has like the blue stuff. So, but the other thing that he comes with is he comes with Shang-Chi's awful nunchucks. If you have the Shang-Chi that you turned into Quick Kick, which everyone does, those nunchucks are absolutely awful. But he does come with a lot of repaints and a lot of reuse of stuff. So. Jeremy, I do need to talk to you because you have a lot of stuff that I'm like, man, it'd be a lot easier if someone just sent that to me before I do my slideshow. All right. So I add this back to the stream. Actually, this was the end of it. So I do think the figure looks really nice. If you don't have a Deadpool and you can get this one, go for it. I mean, there's 100 different Deadpools, let's be honest. So, all right. Let me get rid of that. Matter of fact, I don't have the other one up. So I gotta go find the slide. All right. So quickly, before I pull this up here, remove this. I'm gonna quickly go through the chat here. So Bob is on the Sunfire body. Well, isn't that the same body as the other Hydra figures? I mean, I could be wrong. I bought some of the Hydra figures. The blue ones really fit really good as Cobra Troopers. Oh, I'm sorry. Those are the Shield figures. The Shield figures look really good, especially with their gas masks. All right, 66 people watching right now. As I mentioned before, if we had 100 likes today, next week we will give this away live. I might go away home. I might go away stream on my way to Disney. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I don't believe I've ever seen you in the live streams, but I know that I have talked to you numerous times in communicating with you, making comments on my videos, and it kind of sounded awful when I said that, didn't it? So I'm super glad that you're here, and I gotta say hi to. Did not say hi to Palpatine, another channel member. Thank you very much. I feel the force in the Unleashed box. Yeah. I just wanted to go through some of the chat here. We're moving pretty quickly. I really don't have too many things, believe it or not. Once we get to the GI Joe, I'm going to ramble on about all kinds of different things that are going on. Oh, look, I don't have pop, guys. I got brisk iced tea. I actually haven't had any pop today at all, which is kind of odd, but I feel a little bit better. What's up, Punk? Great reviews, bro. Definitely one of the best. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. It really does. And wow, Ryan Sweeney. I love Ryan. Normally he's not awake this late to catch the chat. So what's up, chat? Hello, Lawrence. Have a great show. Wanted to stop and say hi. Again, got 67 people. Let me mention once again, I'm going to be plugging this all night. Since we were supposed to go past midnight because Haslab was supposed to end, and then the Hasbro team said, fuck you, Punk. We're not going to let you do it, even though everyone else was going to try and do a live stream and try and hijack your show that you do every Monday. They said, we're going to end it on Tuesday. And I said, you know what? Two can play at that game. So tomorrow at 11 p.m., we're going to go live, but not just me, because I think you guys have heard enough of me after 3+ hours. Matthew Mattson's going to be on the show. Tony Figs is going to be on the show. And KJ Black Genghis is going to be on the show for the first time. I mean, Tony is already part of the Punk crew. So tune in tomorrow. Hey, you know the social media. It'll be all over there. So, but hit that like button, as I mentioned. Listen, I'm being a real big show today. I want to hit that 100 likes before the end of the stream. We can do it. I know more people are going to start tuning in. They always do later on. We're at 62, so sometimes I gotta breathe. Sometimes I completely forget to breathe. Action figure. Wait, what is this? Enjoy the rest of the show, everyone. Going to be watching on my TV. We got to work while okay, all right. I don't want you leaving. Listen, if you have not, listen, I want to mention the action figs. Listen, Tuesday, tomorrow, check his show out. I don't know if you're going to be talking toys. I watched the show last week. I wasn't able to watch it live, but I watched it last week. They started talking about every type of mythical, like Chupacabra and Bigfoot, and it was such a fascinating watch for like an hour and a half. I was honestly like, it had nothing to do with toys. I think maybe they started talking about toys at some point. But I was so fascinated, and I couldn't even, like, the whole time I drive home and I just put on like a YouTube where, you know, I don't have to watch it. I just listen, right? So I'm like, I got to run and grab my pizzas. I'm pausing it. When I get home, you know, I'm like waiting for it. But yeah, check it out for sure. He does a really good job, him and his son. Although his son kind of disappears at times. And I don't think anyone's really running the operating board, which I find amusing. Anyway. All right, so this here, the Force. Where's the Force? The Force Unleashed. I know nothing about these characters. I know the Stormtroopers. I know this is from the video game. My son plays it and everything. I gotta say, this thing looks really cool. I have not looked up prices because I don't really get into a lot of prices. I probably shouldn't I? Again, I don't even notes this today, which is odd, and I'm so used to having all my notes. Quickly, let's see here. Down South 7. Good evening, everyone. Just been a subscriber lurking. Love the reviews. Listen, thank you very much. I love getting new people chatting in here. It is absolutely wonderful. It is great to have you. And I was going to say, I don't have to worry about Matthew saying that I've never seen that you've been here because, damn it, I know. Okay, McClatterick. Man, I'm going to get your name right one day. $110. That is pricey. Usual Mike, I can tell you the price. Because I was going to be getting it, but I got to say, I think this thing looks really awesome. The presentation, like, this is how you should be doing stuff if you're going to be doing this plastic free. This looks really cool. You get 2 stormtroopers, so you do have your army builders, and then you have your this is Kalkeska, right? If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I don't play the video game. I think this looks really awesome. The screaming face kind of gives me the screaming Duke face vibes that everyone absolutely hates because they're usually not all that good. But yeah, I think everything else that it just comes with, and they do a really good job. They just make this thing look awesome. Other than the screaming head. And I know I saw more pictures of it. It's kind of weird. Like, you see all these pictures, and then when you go to do your stuff, and you lose track of the stuff. So I'm on the classified page all the time. I see many of you on there. Thanks for the welcome all. No, thank you. Like, hey, listen, this channel, this show is not what it is without each and every single one of you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm the most important person. There's no doubt about that. But seriously, without all you guys, I can't go for 3 hours. Like, I can't go for 3 hours. That's probably not true. I probably could just chat by myself for 3 hours, which is kind of what I do anyway. Anyway, let's see. I think it was Saturday Morning Toy Collector. You might want to watch his video because he picked you as the winner, bro. I am almost certain it was you. I don't know. Are you talking? Who are you talking to? uh, you're talking to me? How can someone pick me as anything? Let's see. If GI Joe didn't have 6-inch line, I would be all into Star Wars. One of my favorite lines as a kid. Yeah, GI Joe killed all my Star Wars. Oh, that was directed at Ray Paz. All right, Ray Paz, get on there and don't leave now. Just go after. Hi. No, don't even start with this. You want to say hi? Say hi. Oh, there we go. Hi. I love you too. It's like, I can sit there and I can talk and you don't care. But it's like, when I'm on. When I'm on. All right. Go see the girl. Tomorrow's going to be fun. At least I have 4 people tomorrow. All right. So now we finally got the Black Christensen that I think people wanted. It's a bigger figure than the repaint of Chewbacca. Actually, this is the vintage line, so this one is actually smaller than. But they do give you a lot of stuff. A nice little box. Here's everything that it comes with. Again, I mean, they do a decent job, but I think you could always do a little bit more. But yeah, let's see what I have no plans on collecting. I own that dog. Oh my God, they are tomorrow. Yes. Wow, they are tomorrow. Wow, that's gonna be. Wow, someone really messed up that extending the Haslab. Wow, yes, that means that. Woo. No, I guess when the server crashes. Wow, that I know. I was thinking they were on Thursday, and that date doesn't work because the date tomorrow is the 28th. I mean the 18th. So, listen, I'm focused on getting to 2 Fridays from now when I am on my way to Florida to have a vacation with my family, who will probably be a nightmare. $40 for this is pretty ridiculous. Listen, it seems like everything with Star Wars is just way overpriced, ridiculously priced. But it does look good. They do give you some stuff, which is nice compared to, some of the other things they give. They don't give you, I guess I should say. So you kind of have what looks like it's supposed to be the crossbow. They just remove the cross. Then you have 2 other weapons here. I think you can stand in a fighting position. An energy blast. So they are giving you some stuff, but I guess you are going to be paying for it. And then he's got his pretty sweet ass. What do they call them? Knuckle dusters. We always call them brass knuckles. Yeah, see, the SDCC exclusives are all overpriced. They are. It's one of those things where if they're an actual exclusive, where that's the only place you can get it, then it's worth it. What they're doing now, where pretty much anyone is able to find stuff and get stuff, well, then it's, nothing's really that exclusive. The Dr. Mindbender and the Serpentor, everyone was able to get. The only one that people weren't able to really get would be the Zartan color changing one. So, I don't know, someone's going to correct me and say there's a few other ones, but for the most part, I think that Chuckles we're going to be able to get. When he has a mug. So he comes with a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you want all that stuff, but he does come with a bunch of different things. And then, So let's talk about the another preview of the Cat's Lair. So this is on the other side of the Cat's Lair, and this is Panthro's little, I want to say mechanic room, but that sounds stupid. Garage. So it does have all these different tools. And the guy from Super 7 that was on Geek Dad Life yesterday, he said that all this stuff is removable, although there is a part that I guess there's a long thing at the bottom that says that it doesn't come with a certain thing because it comes with the Thunder Tank. And he said it looks like they might have removed it, so maybe it's coming with it. But again, like, listen, you're paying $650, $750 after shipping for this. Give as much as you can. God bless the people that want this. God bless the people that have space for this. But it's Super 7, and I always feel that anything with Super 7 is going to be poor quality because that's what they are known for. But it is nice that they're going to be giving you a very large playset that's going to open up. I'm not going to say $750. I mean $650, but it's $750. You have to pay $750. You're not getting it without paying the shipping. So $750 shipped. And I mean, he talked about it being in multiple boxes. It probably won't cost $100 to ship. It'll probably be much less. BBTS can ship it for $4. Let's see here. Before we move on, I'm going to remove this here. Before we get into the GI Joe stuff. Down South says, I'm in the process of adding up all my Joe pre-orders now. I need to move some money around since Hasbro and Amazon are playing wallet whack-a-mole. Yes, they are. Okay, where is the supposed armory Chuckles was supposed to come with that would make it an exclusive? Chuckles accessories are lackluster, say the least. Okay, so it was never an arsenal. That was just something that was thrown on it. Chris from the Full Force had talked about it. He knew exactly what it was. He said he tried hinting at it to kind of tame people, but it was never going to be that. Just like he talked about, he mentioned the mole rats, and he said that they weren't zombies. And I don't know what he said. You'd have to go back and watch some of the stuff, but he said, I kept trying to hint at it that they're not zombies. They're like zombified because they're not really zombies. So if Chris is saying it from the Full Force, you better believe that it's true because he knows a lot of stuff that he's not allowed to speak about. And they obviously trust him because they know that he's not going to speak. Like, he's only going to leak stuff that they want him to. I know that people say that makes you a shill, but that's just kind of being a partner with someone. Again, people tell me stuff that I don't just shoot off to the world because, that's how you get trust with stuff. So if you're watching the Full Force, and you should be if you like GI Joe, he is going to be letting you in on some stuff. Yes, but Chris is saying it contradicts what Ryan said. And I love Ryan, but he is contradicting, saying, I will tell you guys what the third tier was originally supposed to be. So what I said, what I truly do believe, and how even the guy from Super 7 said the same thing. He goes, that's not it. That was, hey, you know what? Draw something up really quick. Even the guy Super 7, he suggested the same thing. So anyway, let's get into some Super 7 news. No, I don't believe it was ever going to be airborne. I don't think it was ever going to be airborne. I believe that it was going to be, actually, I'm almost positive it was going to be some sort of steel core figure, because there was another guy in the chat on the Full Force that kept typing it, and Chris kept pointing to it going, I can't say, but read the comment. Like, he kept insinuating and looking at it. So So this is another SDCC exclusive. You'll be able to get it anywhere. It's an overpriced 5 points of articulation with a really bad shotgun. It's an MP. Again, it's just another repaint. Stuff that Super 7 does that people don't like. I think we might have some time to do a little topic that kind of got discussed today. So maybe we will. That's me and my tease, I guess. And then here's the Python Trooper. I gotta say, as much as I don't like this figure, I like the color scheme. I love the artwork. I think their artwork is awesome. That's one of the things that I absolutely hate. Hold on quickly. Cornelius McGillicuddy says, if Chris isn't going to reveal the details of the information, it's best that he keeps it to himself. Chris saying that he knew something and didn't reveal it serves absolutely zero purpose to me. Well, I mean, it's not about they're told something and sometimes they can hint at things, but they can't exactly say it. They're toys. Sometimes it's fun to try and, just figure things out on your own and kind of be led down some way. And sometimes you're shocked. It doesn't really matter to me. That's not a big deal to me. So glad it wasn't a steel core figure. I think that they saw the backlash, and I think that might have been where it came from. Like, hey, that's not it. I would have to look at that steel core and see if that's the steel core that was coming out with it. But let's see. Those figures are trash except for the artwork. I actually feel bad for whoever's collecting reaction figures for the price point. Exactly. And that's one of the biggest issues with the reaction is how expensive they are. If people like 5 points of articulation, that's fine, but they shouldn't be more than, around $10. And they've gone up in price. All right. So here we have the City of Dead Ancient Warrior pack. This is from the cartoon. This is going to be, what, 120, I think? So what can I say? I think John had made a comment about how, this is a GI Joe pack without any GI Joe or Cobra figures. And I have to agree. It's exactly what it is. I think this thing is going to just sit there. And they're not going to sell that many. And from what I understand, Brian Flynn loves the GI Joe property. He's glad that he has it. So he's going to push out things. But if that last SDCC didn't sell, because that thing went on, I believe that thing went on clearance too, where he actually started clearancing them, and that had actual figures in it. I don't see this thing doing very well. So artwork is absolutely wonderful. I think it looks cool, but at the same time, it's just, we grew up on GI Joe. They had the articulation. No one wanted to go backwards, especially not that far backwards. And you didn't have to go O-ring, but not having, elbow and knee joints and a waist that swivels takes away everything. And they're good to have some figures, like an extra Cobra figure that's just in the background, so it breaks up how everyone looks the exact same, but you can't do anything with them. And that's, that's the biggest issues. Whiskey says, if the reaction figures were the 25th anniversary GI Joe figures, I would be all in and broke. Yeah, if the reaction figures are better, I think that you would have a lot more. You'd have a lot more people that are collecting them. I've been at Target where someone walks by that isn't a toy collector, they're with their kid, and they're like, wow, GI Joe, I haven't seen that forever. And they look at it like, I remember GI Joe's like bending and stuff, and it was like, yeah, but hey, there's someone buying them. All right, so here is the Super Cyborg Snake armor. Now, they've done these Super Cyborgs before. They've done the Bat. They have a Megatron that's coming out. They've done Bumblebee, I believe. They're also going to end up, they'll eventually do a clear one. Now, to me, this would have been a perfect time to do a snake armor scale where you actually could have put an ultimate figure in. And while you're at it, make it so you could also fit a classified figure in it. But unfortunately, Super 7 didn't. This is completely scaled wrong. Now, you might be able to get the snake armor to work with the ultimate figures because they are 7-inch figures, so they're a little bit bigger. But they talked about it, and they said that this Cobra Trooper does not fit that. He's way too big. So if you have the armor off, he's not going to fit. He's not going to look right with it. Quickly, let's say I thought the snake armor looked like a specialty shampoo bottle for kids. You know what? That is hilarious because you know what? I fully see it. Whiskey says, Haya Toys 3 3/4 figures are the way to go. Snake Eyes and Slim Shell are amazing. The thing with those is they're actually bigger than the 4-inch figures. And I'm not saying that's a problem. They're expensive. But they're actually taller than the 4-inch figures. I don't have a problem mixing my 4-inch figures with my O-ring figures, 3.75. But if you start getting a little bit bigger than that, you might have a hard time wiggling them in there. I'm going to hold off, maybe get some later on when you can kind of bundle them up. Because I think we're going to be able to get some over here after a while. But I don't really want to pay the price to have them shipped. I believe you're talking about like $45 a figure. It sounds like you might have them. Yep, that's him. Yep, he's in the room again. Also, everyone, hit that like button. Mentioned before, if we had 100 likes before we go off the air, I will give this spirit away next week live on my go home show, which is just me going on vacation. I'm trying to sound like a wrestler, the go home show, which I never understood. So here he is. Again, it's Super 7. Do you have a perfect chance? You're making this. Why don't you make it so your ultimates fit in there? And at the same time, why don't you say, all right, well, since the ultimate figures are bigger, let's make it so someone can also fudge a classified figure in, because then I can grab some of that market share. But hey, Super 7, I guarantee you, these things always go on clearance. Always get marked down. Whoever has them will eventually have this marked down. All right. So let's get into Red Jackal and Red Knock. Or is it Red Knot? I don't know. It depends on who's saying it. So these are SDCC exclusives. Now, I'm not a fan of the Ultimates at all. But I do have to say, this is exactly what an exclusive should be. Something you don't have to have, but something you may want. And I got to say, they look really good. But of course, the Super 7 does wonderful pictures until you get the stuff in hand. I looked at the bat. Let's add Brian Lopez. Yeah, seriously, it fits. It fits, doesn't it? Okay, he must be talking to someone else. Maybe. So, listen. I know some people think like if you're a GI Joe fan, you need to know everything about it. I'm a GI Joe fan. I don't. Growing up in the 80s, I didn't care what I didn't even know Europe and Brazil. I didn't realize those other countries were getting different figures. I didn't know what Action Force was. So if you're a GI Joe fan and you don't know about that or don't care, that's cool. If you didn't know who Glenda was, no big deal. I do have an issue with the people that just can't do a quick GI Joe Glinda Google. I mean, it would come up right away. So this is the Red Jackal, which is just the Destro repaint. I gotta say, it looks really good. Again, this is a promo shot of it. And the Baroness. Now, mind you, the Baroness's knee is probably as far as it actually bends. Oh, no, it does not. No, that figure is in. That figure is actually in it. So those things, I think they're 12 inches tall. That figure is just molded in it. So again, you had the perfect opportunity to make it so you could fit one of your figures in, and you could have made it so the classified figures could also fit in there. Because once you put the armor over it, it doesn't even matter, right? And if you just had the lower armor and you had the front come off, you'd be like, oh yeah, look at that. But that's how Super 7 does things. Again, not a fan of the company. All right. So here's the Destro. Better look at him just straight up. I like the red pistol. I like the rockets on his arms. It just looks really good. And again, Red Jackal, not Destro. Here's the packaging that he's going to come with. He does come with Flint's backpack. It comes with the red gun. It looks like he comes with a book of some sorts. Maybe someone can... I thought there was another picture. I couldn't find it. 3 different head sculpts. 2 pointy fingers. He does have the Cobra laser rifle and different gauntlet accessories. So this is a really good looking figure. Now, I don't know what the purpose of having Flint's backpack. I would assume something came with a Red Jackal, you would think, or maybe he just thought he wanted to throw something in there. I'm not really sure why they would do that, but you know, Super 7 does what Super 7 does. And then here we have the red painted Baroness. Now, mind you, this is now the 3rd Baroness since they've started doing Ultimates. Now, again, it is you know, an exclusive. So again, this is where I think you can get away with it. I do think the red really pops, especially with all the crimson that we've been getting, even though it wouldn't fit. And if anyone is wondering, these will not fit with classified. These are a true 7-inch scale. They are way bigger than any of the classified, including Serpentor, who is by far the biggest of them all. You might be able to fit Serpentor in with maybe some of the smaller figures, but then he wouldn't look right because he was just so much bigger. Yes, Anthony said it best. Super 7 gonna Super 7. Like, you know, I've heard others talk about this, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you got the GI Joe line, and I know you want everything to fit with your Ultimates, but why wouldn't, like, you know that people want the cartoon accurate figures? Why wouldn't you scale these down to fit with the 6-inch line that Hasbro is doing? Because you know there would be people that would want to mix it in. And even at your crazy, ungodly BS prices, you would have more people buying them. You know, risky. I disagree, man. I have the SCCC bat. I had the ThunderCats. I just think they're just garbage. They're just. Oh my God. No, again, I can get over the articulation if you didn't have to worry about all the issues. Now, it was brought up because these were done at the same time that the last wave came out. Someone asked about her face paint, and he said, well, that was a dress, and all of them should be painted. Maybe, and he said something like, maybe not completely, like, maybe not complete, but it doesn't look bad. That doesn't make me feel much better. It makes me feel like this Baroness is not going to have a painted face. That her face is just going to be the color of the actual plastic they use. And I don't get. I don't get. Brian Lopez says here, they started off a 7-inch scale, so I guess they got to stick with it. You don't have to. I understand why they do it. But, again, you want all your he wants all his Super 7s to scale together. I can tell you this right now, the Super 7 Lino does not scale properly because it's done off the Mattel box, right? But when you want them all to scale, that's great, but that means your Turtles scale with the GI Joes, which should be smaller, right? And then your GI Joes are going to scale with your Transformers, which we all know should be much bigger, right? So technically your scale is already off. I'm just saying you had a chance to blend them in with classified figures. And I think it would have been a great idea. But hey, I'm not Brian Flynn. So here's everything that she comes with. She comes with the Cobra rifle, 3 different head sculpts, pistol, a few sets of hands, and the red rifle. So again, I think the figures do look good from the outside looking in. My problem, I mean, I've got a lot of problems with Super 7, but too many times, and this is why I feel bad for people, they're buying Super 7, and when they get the product in hand, it looks nothing like what they asked for. And I'm not just talking about GI Joe. We can go back to that Andre the Giant, which is probably the worst. The Green Power Ranger, that one was really bad too. There's so many. And the worst thing is that the owner's opinion and his reaction to it is like, what you gonna do? Like, well, I don't know, dude. I mean, even the guy last night was like, well, I don't know what you're gonna do. You're just gonna eat the cost. And I'm like, I'm sorry, yes. Like, you can't sell a product. Well, you shouldn't sell a product to someone that is completely different. And I know people are gonna be like, hey, what about the Falcon head sculpt? But that was the head sculpt that they showed us. The original digital render didn't look like that, but the one that we saw, looked nothing like it. So, how does he stay in business? Because for the longest time, and this is my opinion, and the longest time he had all these properties that no one got. And I believe they used to make really good product. But now everyone has a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line. As a matter of fact, I think if I went down and I applied for a business license for make toys, I think I just automatically get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles license. I cannot believe Aliverse didn't announce that they had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. They went with the knockoff Power Rangers because they had knockoff GI Joe. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Anyway, that's it. I believe that's it for Super 7. Oh, no. That's right. There is this tease at what would be probably the next wave of Super 7 Ultimates. Now, I made comments on this. So you are, I don't know, you giving him a donut? Now, understand, the only way a Super 7 will ever eat a donut is if someone else feeds it, because they do not have enough articulation to reach their mouth. But again, this is the color scheme of it. It looks like he doesn't have anything on his neck. So I don't remember if the comic, or I mean in the cartoon, you could see their skin. But it might also be another figure. I know someone had mentioned it being maybe someone else, because they said the waist, maybe they're covering the waist, and so he doesn't look, so it's a heavier set figure. I'm not sure exactly. It was on the Full Force they were talking about it. Well, Hasbro can Power Rangers, so Valley can corner that market. Oh yeah, they kind of did. Well, it probably ain't selling, so oops, didn't mean to hit this button. Man, when I first saw this figure, I was thinking the boss from Office Space. Yeah, if you could defeat GI Joe Saturday, that would be great. I like that. Yeah, if you could beat GI Joe by Saturday, that would be great. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to come in on Sunday too. Okay, so look at that. Okay, so Jeffrey Smith says it came from the cartoon episode Break Room Scene. All right. So, but again, in the break room scene, did they actually eat it? Again, who's asking for a donut? Eating and coffee swell CG straight. Okay, so again, I don't have a problem with that because. So I don't have a problem with that because it's like if they give a frozen fudgy in the classified line to Quick Kick. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. But so I don't have a problem with throwing in little things like that as long as you're giving them the proper accessories. Now, my issue, again, a lot has to do with the price and the articulation. I've told you before, I can overlook articulation for a high price point when they're like Mythic Legions and everything is spot on. The sculpt is amazing. The paint is amazing. But as we all know, we don't really get that with Super 7. Roman, I literally just shut the door and you walked through again. This is the fun of doing a show all by yourself and you have a dog that comes in and out. It's wonderful. It's going to be really fun next week because I'm going to have 2 dogs all by myself. All right. So I think this is the end of the Ultimates here. Again, before, I mean, when everyone said, like, I do think that the Ultimates look really, really good with the show. I wouldn't buy them because they're out of scale. And the quality, in my opinion, is really, really bad. Would I buy it though, Lawrence? Because that's money's better spent. Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you're already in on this line, I don't have a problem with that being given. I would not specifically go out and buy a Crimson Guard with a donut, but I think it would be cool to have something like that. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I like having other things thrown in. And again, something like this is cool because it is world building. I mentioned it before, like GI Joe is really doing world building. I know some people don't think so, but world building is all about the classified. Lenny has talked about it so many times. They're just not world building with vehicles because it'd be pretty hard. All right. I'm going to take a breath, guys. Whew. All right. Let's get the Haya. And, well, there's no mistaking now that Haya is basically just doing what the original classified line was supposed to do, but at 4-inch scale. I think the beachhead was, all right, there's no denying this is classified. This pretty much was the nail in the coffin. No, I do not hate this at all. Although I thought he was being a little judgmental. Chris from the Full Force, when I was watching, talking about the face sculpt. And then when I was doing the pictures, I looked at it and I went, oh no, he's not. The face sculpt is not good. So you look at this is the classified all the way down to the shotgun that so many people hate because of where it breaks. Again, they're supposed to be futuristic. Ray Pass says, I'm all in on that Flint. Again, it looks just like the classified. And I'm not, that's not a negative. I think it looks really good. I think it looks really good. So Chris McLeod from the Full Force, he was mentioning how bad he thought the face sculpt looked. And I really hadn't seen it. I mean, I'd seen it, but I wasn't paying attention until I was doing the slides here. And then because I thought he was kind of being a little harsh on it. But then I saw the face and I was like, yeah, that does not look good at all. It looks wrong on many, many, many levels. And I can't really put my finger on it. I mean, it looks bad, but it doesn't look right, is what I mean. Like the Falcon face sculpt just looked awful. But it looked like a bad face. It looked like someone that was ugly. Now, Whiskey, are you a big fan of the 1/18 scale figures? I'm just wondering. I know we've talked about it, but I talked to so many people. I'm just wondering because I obviously I have a whole GI Joe room, so I am still in favor of it. So, damn, nobody can get Flint's face go up right. That's a fugly face, but I'm getting it anyways as I'm on this line. Listen, I don't know why people hate the classified figure. I think the classified figure looks awesome. Looks great. You know what? Yeah. Draft keeps having like the lines of the night, man. Every show, like he's knocking it out of the park. It does look like a birthday cake topper, but the figure itself looks pretty good. Now you complain about the beret. I don't really care. I know there's some people that do not like berets and toy berets unless they're kind of molded in. I don't really care. Again, they're toys. I think it looks better with the beret. Again, the face doesn't look right. I think a lot has to do with the face just looks like it's one solid piece. Like some of those old kid cart, like those kid shows that they just put like the hair helmets on. But I do think it looks good. I know a lot of people have said that these things are kind of fragile, and you do get that with some of these 4-inch figures. Now, I even got it with the Mezco figure. As nice as the Mezco Destro is, getting the wrist to stay on is a little touchy because of how small the peg is, but they're also a soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about them breaking. Hopefully, this is the same. It will be the same with this. Because I know some people have kind of complained about their stuff. So, John Doe here says, I am a sculptor that facial anatomy is fundamentally wrong. Okay. I would love for you to break it down a little more. I know you probably can't do it on here. But I find that fascinating. And I don't mean that, I'm not saying that condescending at all. I think that is fascinating because I know how when someone does something professionally, they can look at something and be like, yeah, this is what's wrong with it. That's what's wrong with it. That Cobra Commander is awesome looking. That Cobra Commander is amazing. So, spending a lot of time on this. Like this here, I think looks really good. Again, I like the way the figure looks. Hopefully, these stupid shin pads aren't causing any problems like it does with the classified. Again, that's probably my biggest beef with the classified is they have these stupid shin guards. Again, I don't mind the fake shotgun. It's just some futuristic shotgun. Not that big of a deal. But all this stuff I think looks really good. But this is clearly they sculpted all of these to go with classified. Now, I don't think they're copying classified at all. This is clearly they had a deal with Hasbro and it was like, hey, you know what? We'll let you make the 4-inch figures. But for $25, now you're going to pay a little bit more because of where they're coming. It has much better value than the Super 7 and their 5 points of articulation. There is no doubt about that. And the Lilith says here, to me, it doesn't look like Flint, but a character in Flint uniform. Yeah, but what does Flint really look like? I mean, it's so hard to say because it's not a person. Like, we know what Han Solo looks like. We know what Luke Skywalker looks like. Those are, when we look at poor Carrie Fisher and all her, like, why couldn't you just get it right? Like, you couldn't get one Carrie Fisher Star Wars face sculpt looking right. So disappointing. All right. And then it even has the futuristic pistol. Dear Classified, retire this pistol. You can't, and once it's pointed out that it doesn't have a magazine or you can't fit a magazine in, you can no longer not see that it doesn't have a magazine. Again, I like having some futuristic stuff. These were supposed to be a futuristic style, but man, oh man, they kind of kill you with it. All right, let's remove this really quick. I believe that is the end of those. We're going to get into the classified really, really quick, but I want to kind of catch up on some of these comments. I just kind of want to read through some of them while we're here. PNC, I chewed off the shin guards. Well, that doesn't sound very appetizing. Listen, if you need super chats when you're on, then we will do that. If I don't need you eating shin guards. Says that's the short version of Flint. And Allison, the best Leia face sculpt are the Endor Leia and Ewok Village Leia. Is the Ewok Village confirmed for the Haslab? And even those aren't quite right. And they even been released. They've just been released over the year and a half. Yeah, I don't understand why they can't get poor Carrie Fisher's face. I mean, she's probably rolling over in her grave, along with the submersible people. They say hi to Cobra La who tuned in. Cobra La, I love you joining. Cobra La, I hope they never make you classified because those were awful. All right. So let's get into some classified. And as Foxtrot, I believe, had mentioned, these are going out for pre-sale tomorrow. And the dates didn't even dawn on me. I don't know why I was thinking Thursday. I don't think that them going on pre-order tomorrow is any better. I mean, with the Haslab ending, either tonight or tomorrow is any better. It's still coming out around the same time. Now, again, if you're pre-ordering this, people got to understand, if you are pre-ordering, you are not paying for it now. I'm tired of hearing people on the different pages that are like, oh, great, this is all my money. It's like, well, it's not being taken out. Unless you use PayPal on ordering on Walmart, then you get charged right away. So if you're using a credit card, you don't have to worry about it. But if you are using PayPal, it's going to get charged right away. But if you do cancel it, they do credit you back very quickly. So you don't have to worry about that. But I don't understand why PayPal does that with a lot of different things. They don't do it with BBTS. But some of the other places, especially Walmart, is a big company. So, but these are the three figures. I wonder if there'll be a fourth one. It seems odd there's only three. All right, 70 people. Hit that like button. I mentioned before. Let's hit it again. Let's talk about it again. If we hit 100 likes on the stream today, next week I will give this spirit away live on the air. I actually won't give it away. I will do a giveaway, and then I will announce who the winner is, and then I will send it out later on because I'm not going to do it that day. All right. So, someone tell me, how many likes do we have right now, guys? I can't see it because I can't have multiple things open with this old computer. I can't wait to get a new computer. Then I can have multiple things. 71 people. We've had over 100 people that have come through here. Yeah, the last wave wasn't 2. The last wave has been 3. But I'm sorry, the last wave has been 4, but they announced them like 2 at a time. It's really weird what they do. It's really weird how they go about it. I don't get it. So anyway. $72 likes. What's weird about the likes, normally if you don't refresh it, it doesn't show up. So it doesn't change. Let's see here. Jay says, if you haven't read the GI Joe Declassified series by Larry Hama, when he was at Devil's Due, you just have to read it because it goes into Shooter's backstory. Yeah. 74 likes, Matthew says. All right. Listen, I want to hit 100 likes on this. And it's just a pat on the back. I thought for sure we were going to hit 100 people today, but unfortunately, Hasbro screwed us. I didn't even take into consideration that there'd be every other streamer that does GI Joe wanting to do. So let's talk about this anyway. So the first one is this Crimson Alley Viper. Now, we all knew that there was another Alley Viper coming. I think we all assumed it'd be the red painted one. I am surprised that this, being that it's part of the Crimson line, that it's a Walmart exclusive. Uh, so it was kind of shocking that that's how they went away, how they went about it. Because clearly there is a world building for what's happening with the Target exclusives, and now a world building with the Walmart exclusives. Now, I think this figure looks absolutely awesome. I love the dark red. He comes with all the exact same equipment that the first Alley Viper did, which is to be expected. Again, with the pistol that needs to be retired. I want to give him credit. I believe the first one that I heard say that was Bees Battleground. They was kept saying this thing needs to be retired. 75 people, so we should have 75 likes right now. At least 75 likes. Hit that like button if you guys like toys and you want to see me give free stuff away. It might be dented. It may be dented a little bit. But it's free, right? It's free. So here's everything he comes with. Now, what is really cool about this is he has the toxic little symbol on his face shield. So I think that's really awesome. It is definitely. We got 75 likes, Matthew said. All right, guys. I know some of you didn't hit it. I don't know why. I forget to hit it too. If you're watching on TV, people tend to forget it. You know, on TV, you can scroll and hit that like button. I know because I've had to do it before. I love the weapons. I really do. And once again, proving, hey, GI Joe, you can do a weapon that's not too hard, that does not bend, but also will not kill a child if they get poked with it. Well, I guess depends on where they get poked with it. Whiskey says they should include different weapons instead of recycling the same weapons to change it up and make it more appealing, since they do nothing but release army builders. You know, I have a feeling we might start seeing that because we saw what they did with the bat. Now, I have a feeling that there'll probably be recycled weapons from other characters, but I definitely hope that they do that with the 78 fire team. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. I don't really mind, in all honesty, I don't mind those weapons that they came with, minus the big pegs that stick into their backs, because Cobra always, they're supposed to have like futuristic stuff, different things like that. So I really don't mind that. But I agree with you. But what I do like about this is it comes with the original, and I like the fact that when they did this, they gave you this extra white rifle. I love the fact that they give you the original Alley Viper, and you get all his original accessories, and they give you a different rifle. So I had you have different, all kinds of different looks on your figure. And you do have to figure out how to get this in here. If you don't know how to do this, you gotta figure out how to get the arm in. And you gotta pop off that hand and slide it down. If you didn't know that, you gotta pop the hand off and slide the hand down through the shield and then pop the hand back on. That's how you get that thing on, if you didn't know that. The Lilith says, I feel like I'm reliving 2009 and all this red. Oh, man. All right. So I thought, honestly, I love this shot here. I set up a few of them. The original Alley Vipers like this. It fits really good when you put the rifle over it. I love their world building, their story that they were telling, how like these guys are sent down there to direct where these mole rats need to be. So I think it's really cool. It actually makes sense. Obviously, the visor is down. It's toxic. You would assume they probably have some sort of breathing apparatus, so they're not going to get infected like the rest of these guys. And you would have the shield to kind of push them to where you want them to go. Yeah, I don't either. But whatever side the shield is on, move the knife over to the other side. That's what I did. Just move it to the other side. But it is on the original. I remember that when I did the review that he has a small knife on it. God, I did that review a long time ago. Kind of forgot how many reviews I've done. When you've done every single classified so far, wow, it seems like it's been a long time. All right. So wonderful shots of them walking. Again, the photography is absolutely amazing with these classified, with a lot of the figures that people are doing. Again, these companies know exactly what they're doing, but getting figures to walk on 1 foot, or not walking 1 foot, but look like they're actually taking steps. It's interesting. And you can see all these mole rats just kind of lying down, where clearly they're either dead or they are being infected. Guess it's all going to be your story. The biggest gripe here is this magazine tends to pop out when you are trying to pose it and get that hand on there so you can fire this weapon. I kind of wish it was just molded in, but it is nice that the magazine works with both figures. But I know that like my Dusty, I lost. I don't know if I lost it or I just can't find. Not my new Dusty, but the original Dusty. I can't find his magazine. He's not holding that weapon. I actually have him holding, wait for it, a gridiron weapon. That's for you, Anthony. He's holding a gridiron weapon, my Dusty. Well, sometimes I wonder if you guys are just wondering what the hell I'm talking about. but just looking at like, there's not even a lot of paint apps on it. It's red, it's gray, it's got black, but it changes the way this figure looks so much. Anthony says, I hate the orange and blue triangle one. Not for me. Well, that's because you're not a real GI Joe fan. And here you can see that they're kind of directing them. Again, I think it's wonderful. I think it's a great idea. Like, such a good idea what they're doing. I love the fact that they have this digital symbol in the middle here. Yeah. But I still don't understand why they went with Crimson. The Crimson, you think would have been a regular release. They could have been another type of Alley Viper, but either way, I'm going to find it. I mean, I'm going to get it. This guy is truly moving at a quick pace here. Again, it looks like he's trying to change a magazine while one is, maybe is it ejecting? I don't know how he's ejecting it while trying to put one in, but he's doing a good job of it. All right, now let's get the shooter. There has been a lot of controversy on the shooter here. I don't want to say controversy, but a lot of talk where she looks like a Fortnite figure, and in some shots she does. But I gotta say, this is a wonderful addition to the line, and this here tells me that the GI Joe team is not just doing nostalgia. And what I mean by that is they are starting to expand the line. I know we all see it, but so many people think that, hey, you know what? They only do one thing. They're just hitting on nostalgia. Well, here's a figure that I know they did, I believe, 25th anniversary or somewhere around there. But, this is the first time we're actually seeing this figure. Now, I don't like the big sniper, but they're creating new figures. The mole rat is a new figure. So they are starting to show new figures. The rock and roll, it's not the same color scheme and color pattern as other ones. So they are starting to deviate from your regular real American here also. Let's get into this figure. Now, she has tattoos. I know some people have an issue with the tattoos not being on the elbow, or none of the classified figures having tattoos on the elbow. But, when you have tattoos on the elbow, unfortunately, is you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. When you bend them, there's a break and it doesn't look right. When you have tattoos here and tattoos on your arm, but not on your elbow, it kind of looks weird, like you missed something. But until someone can figure out a way to do it properly, I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. I think the sniper rifle is way too big. Now, maybe it's because she's a smaller figure. But I understand that maybe in scale to what a person should be, but a lot of times with these figures, it's hard to get them into the right shooting position. I believe, what Valiber's figure is it? The black girl. She comes with a smaller sniper rifle, which works perfect with the females. And I don't believe that you should change the size of a gun to fit a character, but I do believe that you should find a proper sized weapon to fit with a character. So she has a big sniper rifle, no bipod though, which is kind of odd to be honest. She got her pistol, which looks like a brand new pistol. They seem to be going heavy on these extended magazines here. This piece here underneath the pistol is the backpack, so it can snap onto her back. 2 different hair pieces, and then the mask. And clearly, they're going with some sort of world building with this Night Force stuff. Most of them have some sort of mask, including Night Force Ripcord. He does have a mask. Okay, so a few things. I'm not a big fan of this face sculpt from what I see. Maybe it's just how the hair sits on it. It doesn't look bad. I just think it looks very Valibercious. I guess is the best way to put it. I'm not a fan of the shoes. Like she's wearing some sort of, tennis shoes. But I'm going to get over it. I'm glad they're doing something different and not every figure looks the exact same. So I don't want to come off as someone that's just kind of complaining about anything. But, it's nice that they're deviating, giving us something different because we can't constantly have the same figures over and over and over. You know how I feel about that. I've mentioned that about, another company, how, hey, we're just getting the same figure over and over and over for 2+ years. So this is a good shot here. So you can see it does look like she can fire the sniper rifle. But the other thing that I mentioned before, photographers are really good that if you get it in the right angle, how I've even done it, you get things in the right angle, and it can look like they're actually peering through that scope, and they're really not. So hopefully, this isn't an angle thing where she can peer through the scope, hold the rifle properly, and it shoots. It looks like she's actually firing. It's interesting to me. Both Bobby and Hasbro giving us characters in Hawaiian shirts. Yeah, it's not that interesting. It's not that surprising, shall I say. I'll say it again. I think I said it before. If I haven't, I'll say it now. If anyone wonders, in my opinion, why someone comes out with figures maybe a little bit before Hasbro, because someone has a mole in Hasbro because they used to work there. It's no big deal. I mean, it's no big deal. Everyone's trying to one-up each other. All we're getting is better figures, but if anyone believes that Hasbro is copying off of his brand, I don't think you're copying figures. I do believe that you're taking the figures and you're trying to make your figures as good as some of his and have the same articulation. Okay? Here's a wonderful shot. I love light shooting in here. You got the smoke, and then you have all these mole rats in the back, and she got her gas mask on. She's pulling that pistol out like, all right, you know what? It's gonna boom. Ooh, wait a minute, what is this? Huh? Bobby admitted Hasbro was developing Chuckles first on Saturday. Ooh. I mean, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Chuckles is an old thing. 305 in the house. I wish we had 305 here in the house. Let Developers and Hasbro compete all day long. We get some great figures. I am with you 100%. You are absolutely correct. I didn't really want to believe it, but the articulation, the looks and stuff of the original Valorverse, they were better than the classified. And in all honesty, I think they had to look at it and go, you know what? We have to keep up. It's not that we're competing, to take anything away, but you know what? We have to have stuff. But yeah. Oh, wait a minute. So Mr. Wonderful is he didn't admit it so much. He said that he is confident that the turnaround time it would take to produce that would mean that they were in the works prior to his Condor. Okay, well, listen, you guys both like Shawn Michaels and not Bret the Hitman Hart, so let's not fight about it. Though if one of you wants to kick one, give one a super kick and then throw the other one through a pane glass, let's do it. All right? I will put together Piper's Pit. No, it was not Piper's Pit. That was in the barber shop. God, that was awesome. I'm sorry. New rant, but man, listen. When Shawn Michaels super kicked Marty Jannetty and then threw him through the barbershop window, that was awesome. And I'd even like the Rockers back then. And one of them went on to be very successful. And the other one is Marty Jannetty. All right, 77 watching right now. Hit that like button. I mentioned it before. 100, and we will give this away next week. 100 likes by the end of the show today, not by next week. Again, I do like having a big rifle. I mean, that came off wrong. That's what she said. But I think it looks good. I mean, not everyone's going to have a small weapon. Again, I really do like this. Cobweb. Poor Marty, yes. Well, he didn't have to continue to suck. He could have been a good wrestler. He just wasn't. All right. So I do absolutely love. I hope we get more gas mask troopers. Again, if you want, you can always pick up the Valorverse pack. Hopefully the pegs will fit. And as long as, the GI Joes are maybe a little bit smaller, you can always use some sticky tack. I just wish the GI Joe would all use the same neck peg. I don't understand why they constantly change it. All right. There she is. She obviously finished off her ammunition in her sniper rifle, and it's just laying there. All right, how many likes we got? How many likes we got, guys? We got to be close to 80, right? We were sitting at 75. We hit 79 people. I know that. So, I'm going to read this really quick. What I don't like is Bobby and friends insisting that Covert Ops was inspired by Magnum PI. Don't insult the people for his intelligence. Well, I mean, what can I say? I've already mentioned how Condor is a copy of Airborne. You can say it's not, but Airborne is called Condor, I believe, in Argentina or Brazil. You would know that. 82. Wow, look at that. 82. All right, guys. Only 18 more people over the next hour, right? Because we're at 2 hours right now. I mean, to be honest, I don't have the Condor. My buddy has it. He's asked me if I want it. I'm thinking about. I'm starting to get out of Valorverse just because there's so many GI Joe. I think the Condor looks better than what we see in the Chuckles, but we'll get into that in a little bit. All right, mole rats. Now, I do not like zombies. I mean, I love zombies. I don't like zombies in my GI Joe. I love the story that they told here. Now, going with the Dark Energon, they are clearly tapping into. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even realize that DJ is here. So hi, DJ. uh, so I love this. I love how they explained. They have the gas mask, so if you have the gas mask on, they're not infected yet. Clearly, they start getting infected by this dark energon, which, again, it can go either way. It can be, hey, I'm going to tie this into my Transformers, or it's just called dark energon. And they're not really zombies. They're just kind of zombified people until they die, right? I don't want zombies. But hopefully the Marvel Legends head sculpts will fit on these guys so you can have multiple faces, because the suits would probably be all the same, right? It comes with some really nice weapons or nice accessories. I don't want to say weapons. Now, looking at this, again, I love the mask. I like the face. It just sucks that because the face is beat up, that all of them are going to look the same if you don't have the mask on it. And that kind of takes away. This is where GI Joe with Hasbro needs to have a separate a head sculpt pack. So what is really cool about this is they obviously make it so you can use this gun. It's going to attach to the handle here, or you're going to use this for the drill. Again, this is world building completely. And then what I believe is a Geiger counter, which would make sense, right? You're going to have a Geiger counter because you are going down there and, you're going down there and you're going to be checking to see what it is. What is this? No, it's not. What the fuck? What are you talking about? If I said something wrong, please tell me what I said wrong, because it looks like these two things connect to each other. You're right. It is a zombie, but not in the way that a zombie from The Walking Dead is. That's what I'm saying. But you do have all these nice accessories. Again, it's going to be wonderful for world building, in my opinion. You can do all different types of things. But yeah. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So I want to read what. There. Okay. All right. Thank you, Matthew. That's what happens when you're just talking to yourself. All right, let's get into this here. So here's your Geiger counter. Here he is, like, kind of holding the weapon, but sometimes, I wonder what they're doing when they pose the figures like this to show you. So here you can see the drill. Again, I think this looks awesome, and this is just like, again, you buy one of the extreme sets from BBTS, and you can do all kinds of stuff in the sewer, different things like that. Having the drill is really cool. I'm pretty happy with that there. And the fact that they make it so you can swap it for the rifle also. So here they are, clearly before they're infected. And here's even one obviously going to take down an infected. So I think it's awesome, but I want a head pack. So if you do order more, I guess there's a lot of people that you can customize it, Cobra Commander says here, Chaz the Guru, no Chaz, because the punk will lose his spirit. I don't know what you're talking about. I missed something there. I won't lose any spirit. I have a spirit. I'm just going to give one away if we hit 100 likes. Okay. So, they do a good job of making them look a little bit different here, but again, like, you look at the face and it's like, oh, you're both deformed in the exact same spot. This is the one that should have like 3 different head sculpts. All right. So again, I like this figure more than what I thought I was going to like. It is completely different. So it's something new. And this is why I say, you know what, they are breaking away. They're not just going to give us all the exact same stuff. And I'm glad, because I don't want just all, just a repaint of, or an enlarged version of all what we had in the 80s. I like that, but also I want to see it grow into an expanded universe. And did I talk about Chuckles last time? God, was Chuckles? Yeah, Chuckles was. Man, I didn't even remember Chuckles was. We talked about Chuckles already. Did we? Someone tell me we're talking about Chuckles, or if I had to bring it up. We must have talked about Chuckles last time. All right. So we'll get into the Haslab really quick. And so this shot was given off with the Ferris wheel in the back. This Dragonfly is really close to that his tank. Probably would knock itself off and cause some sort of issues. But I can't wait to get this. I really cannot wait to get this his tank. It would have been nice to have it in hand first before we backed another Haslab. I'm saying now we're probably going to get one Haslab a year, which means there will always be some overlapping, because it looks like the 1/18 scale is dead. But so I did throw this one in here because the photographer said he threw in some Easter eggs that no one got, and then it was brought up. And the thing is that he threw the 788 fire team in this. And this is the only shot that it could be. Chris McLeod, actually, someone had asked, hey, I hope that we're going to get some sort of repaints of the infantry trooper. And he went, just keep waiting. Just keep looking. So in here, from what you can tell, is it looks like it is a Cobra Trooper that is probably going to be painted. Maybe it looks black. It's hard to tell. But that's part of the 788 fire team. It was confirmed by the photographer. So, nope, do not believe that's the gunner, because he specifically said it, and then everyone said, yep, he confirmed it was the 7088. So that fire team here, they said is going to work with your HISS tanks. And they said I probably hit it too well. This is the only place that there can be a figure that no one can tell. So with everything that's going on here, once you try and zoom in on it, it's hard. It's hard to distinguish exactly what it is, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, that's it. We were going to talk more about the Haslab, and we were going to take it home and into the night. And now we're not. So where are we with the Haslab? I'm going to pull it up, and then everything's going to get all skittish, and people are going to yell at me. I'm going to be like, hey, what can I say? I got a shitty computer. So let's see if I can now up the. It did it. I'll come back. Oh, I was muted. Thank you. How long was I muted for, guys? Yeah, just a minute or so. I don't know. I must have accidentally hit that. Oh my god. All right. So I'll reiterate because I don't know what I said. Or I know what I said. I know what you guys heard. Yeah. So I have an older computer. Hopefully, I should be getting a new one. I should be getting a new one soon. I'm hoping that's the hope. But that's why I do all the slides now. But when we first started doing this, maybe because we only had like 20, 25 people watching at the time, I was able to do all this stuff without having a problem. But now I completely struggles. I think some does have I think some has to do with StreamYard, but a lot has to do with this computer. So, but we'll find out. Anyone read lips? All right. See, so the jokes will begin. I should get mad and take my ball and go home and say, you know what? I'm not gonna do streams for you guys anymore. Oh, two of you said it. Yeah, look at all these mean. You guys are mean. You guys are meanies. All right. So the Haslab is sitting at just under 22,000. Where do you guys think this is going to end up at? Because with another day, it obviously jumped up. You have other people. I do wonder what it is. I mean, I know there's some people that think this is a conspiracy just to, let it go. But they knew that this was going to make it anyway. It didn't really make a reason. It didn't make any reason to make. Didn't make any sense to extend it after it already did it. So I'm just wondering if when they actually put the timer in there in the actual system, that it was completely off. That it was completely off, and that's what kind of fucked everything up. And they were like, you know what? We're not even going to try and fix it. We're just going to hold off and just let it go. Okay, you're not at 25-7. You guys are being mean now. Now you guys are just, I can go on my phone. I can go on my phone and figure it out. If I can find it. Because we all have it saved. We all have it saved, right? So you just hit that refresh button, right? Just hit refresh. But I don't know. Maybe if you have an Android, you can. I don't know anything about Androids. But yeah, I wonder where we're going to get. I think we're going to get 25. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but you're going to have more. You're going to have more people that are thinking about it. You're going to have the shops that are going to jump in on it. So supposedly the Pulse app had a bug that extended the deadline unless you updated the app. Huh. I heard that there was a bug. I could fully see that though. Your guess is 25. Okay. All right. That makes more sense then. That makes a little bit more sense, Jeremy. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about it. There'll be four of us. Again, I mentioned it before. Tomorrow, tune in 11 o'clock. Me, Matthew, Tony, and KJ, who isn't here. Would have been nice that he joined. Yell at him, Tony. You have him in a text. Yell at him. Yeah, no, there will be no. Yeah, there will be no 24-hour stream. I don't know why you didn't come up. There we go. Yeah, no 24-hour stream. Oh wow, I have not heard that in a long time. Punk ass with toys. Yes, it's been a while since someone called me a punk ass. Yeah, so I know a lot of people think that this is just them trying to extend things, but let's talk about a few things that kind of got brought up today. And I feel like we're constantly beating this drum, or some people are, and I don't understand it. So let's first address. So they extended this, and maybe they extended it because they knew they can get a little bit more money out of it. I don't know. And I know some people feel like, hey, you know what? You have these sellouts, these pre-orders that sell out super quickly, and they're pre-orders, and there's no reason why they should sell out. But the pre-orders, one of the things is, you know, you're pre-ordering it, but they're already being produced. So you only have an allotted amount, especially on Hasbro Pulse. And then they put up an allotted amount that they've already bought because they want stuff for stock. They don't want them all to go pre-order. They want people to come in the store and buy stuff. So it's not, you know, hold on. No, they no, the Lone Dragon, they didn't have any. No, they was just, no, we hit it. Good job. I think Emily and Lenny put a post out, but you know, they don't care. I think they said it funded like in the last 2 hours. So I know some people were talking about it. I think they said it went right up to the last 2 hours. So, but I know some people think like, hey, you know what? These pre-orders, they sell out and they shouldn't because they're not even produced. The figures are being produced, but you have an allotted amount. And Hasbro Pulse is not meant to be a sole store. It's meant to filter some figures out. They still want you to go to the big box store. They still want to push you to the toy stores and the online toy stores also. So that's the reason why those sell out. It's not like you're pre-ordering and then they're making them. They're already being made. They're already being produced. And the people that get so mad about the Target exclusives and the Walmart exclusives that sell out, well, they don't even need to put any up there on Pulse. That's just a nice way of saying, hey, we're also going to have a limited quantity here. These are all for, you know, Target or wherever. And if they sell out, you have to get them there. So it's just, I don't understand why people get so mad about that. It's not that big of a deal. Now, you're going to get these figures. This is not how it was 2 years ago. We hit 22,000 while on the air. That is absolutely awesome. We are literally sitting at, wow, we can't see it. It literally says 22,000 backers on the air. We are awesome. I say good job to all of you guys. I'm assuming most of everyone here has backed it. It can get Lady J at Ollie's for $12 now. Yeah, I like that Lady J, but man, it still should be cheaper as long as it's been sitting around. Considering a lot of those other figures are like $8. Yeah, the EOs will come back. That was already confirmed. I think the EOs, to me, that was wrong. That should not have been an Amazon exclusive. And again, one of the guys that I do talk to, and I kept saying to him, like, dude, it's not a Pulse exclusive. And he was like, in Canada, we couldn't get it on Amazon. It's not there. I didn't realize that. That seems like a huge misstep by someone, whether it be Amazon or Hasbro, with those EOs. So anyway, that's the thing with pre-orders. Now, the other thing is, and I want to address this, the issue that either 1/12 scale collectors have with 1/18 and vice versa. I don't get it. Like, we're collecting fucking toys. I don't know why some people are so against one that they attack other people and vice versa. And believe me, when you're constantly doing something, people start to notice that and they start to make points out. And the amount of shit that I get, the amount of messages that I get from people asking, dude, what's up with that guy? Why do they hate this? Why do they hate that? It blows my mind. It makes no sense. You don't have to like O-ring or 1/18 scale, or vice versa. You don't have to like the other one. If you're knocking something because you don't like how the company runs, like when I knock Super 7, and listen, I don't like the way Super 7 is run. I don't like the product that they give because I think it's a crappy product. They've proven it time in and time again. But the other thing is, and I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to state my case. I believe most Joe collectors are Joe collectors, not toy collectors. And the reason why I say that is a lot of these guys, they started picking up classified because they saw GI Joe, and it reminded me of their old stuff. I got Jay. The Major Blood is awesome. That was probably the first. Oh no, Destro was awesome. There's some really good ones, but that Major Blood was like enough of the same, but enough different to go, whew, you are on the right path. See this is what happens when I read the comments. I get best face sculpt they've done, bar none. That face sculpt is awesome, Whiskey. Okay, so back to what I was trying to say. I think a lot of the GI Joe fans, a lot of these classified collectors that we're seeing right now, they are GI Joe fans, not toy collectors. And the reason why I say that is they came into line. They came in, collecting these classified because they see them on the shelves, which wasn't many, but then they start finding out other places. But then they see Super 7, and people wanted that look of the comics, right? The cartoons, which I don't. But they don't understand that the scale doesn't fit. Now, anyone that's a toy collector would know that the Super 7 Ultimates are not going to scale with any 7-inch figure. This is absolutely nothing new. But if you're just a GI Joe collector and you don't know, you're looking at the figures on screen going, oh, those should scale together. I hope they do. And, well, they won't. They won't even get close to it. The other thing is people didn't realize the shoddy product that Super 7 makes, especially in the Super 7 Ultimates, where a lot of people, they see that face sculpt that's not painted, and they're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But it's like, this is a problem across that company. Not just the line, across the company having problems. And then I see people flip out about the reaction. I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe that they're doing these reaction figures, the GI Joes and 5 points of articulation. That's not how GI Joes are supposed to be. But it's like, listen, fuck, do we have Larry Holmes here? Like, the champion Larry Holmes? I'm sorry. Is this the champion Larry Holmes? I'm sorry. I won't answer that. I think you're right. I think you are dead on with that. But it won't be for a year, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, because my bank account can't help it, especially when I'm going to Disney in less than 2 weeks. So Disney, Universal. I might be lucky if I can afford a $25 figure in 2 weeks. Hi, Roman. Anyway, but a lot of people don't realize that these reaction figures, they're not making GI Joes with 5-point articulation. They are making a whole reaction line. They're making a whole line of 5 points of articulation. And yes, there were some Joes that were 5 points of articulation. Not many. And it was later on, obviously not during the O-ring days. So when you say that you think that most of the classified collectors are not Joe collectors, I'm going to disagree completely. And I could be completely wrong. But the more I see, and I've talked to many people, like, they complain about the shipping from Hasbro Pulse. I'm like, dude, why don't you just buy for $50, the premium membership, you get free shipping? I don't buy enough stuff. Well, you don't buy anything else? No, I only collect GI Joe. Okay. Well, that makes sense. If you are not collecting, if you're not collecting, Marvel or Star Wars or other things like that, you might not get it. I mean, you might not need it. So, what's the big deal? But it's the more and more that I see of that. And I also think, listen, I grew up as an 80s kid. I didn't know anything about Action Force, and I don't care. I didn't care about Action Force. All right, it doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with where my nostalgia hits. I don't care about the foreign, like the foreign stuff. Like it didn't mean anything to me. I think it's awesome that we're getting Glenda. She is a marvelous looking figure. And I love that they're pulling from the lore. But how I would not know about Glenda if I wasn't a true just collector and all I did was think about GI Joe and I'm going through all this stuff. All right. Maybe that makes me not as much of a fan as some other people. I don't know. But it's not surprising that people only want their 80s O-rings because you become an adult. You want something that's new but old. We've all had the 4-inch figures. We've all had the O-ring figures that have been recycled over and over and over. And then you give us the 6-inch. And I know you can get the same articulation for the most part in a 4-inch figure. But we're older. Our eyes aren't as good. I can do more poses because they're easier to stand without using stands. I can see better detail. It's just a fact, all right? Yes, you can get amazing detail and sculpt in a 4-inch figure, but you have these 6-inch figures, and it's just easier to pose, no matter how you look at it. Yes, you can pose 4-inch figures, but I don't think they look as good when you're doing photography. And again, a lot of people just want to have a big case where people walk in and they can see them from across their living room or across their toy room or wherever it is and be like, wow, that looks awesome. Someone looks and goes, dude, is that a Destro? I had Destro. Oh, shit, that's Stalker. Hey, I know who Storm Shadow is. They don't have to walk right up to it every time. But I don't know why there's such this divide. I've mentioned this before. It happened to me watching, like last year, Dan Who. I don't really watch Dan Who, but I just happened to be watching it. And they had display model behavior on. And he was mentioning it. He goes, it's so weird how, if you worked at a company and you saw someone was collecting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you didn't collect it, but they're a toy collector, you would gravitate over to them. And you would start talking to them because you'd have this common interest. But you get on the internet and someone likes something that you don't, and you just fucking attack them, and it makes no sense. And I don't get it. And again, it's one thing, and I know people say, well, you bash Super 7. No, I'm pointing out what I believe is the issue. Now, I've been told I attack Valiverse and their figures. But go watch my reviews. I'm very honest about it. I wouldn't have purchased so many if I thought they were all crap figures. All right, that's my rant is over. I don't even know if you guys are still listening, or if you guys are just talking. Either way, that's awesome. All right. So let's see what the chat is saying. We'll scroll up here. Shark Guys here says, everything pretty slow. There are Joe collectors from the vintage and modern era who are all in on classified line. Corey Cantalupe said the line is really, really popular between the 18 and 35 age bracket. That's sparks light. I saw that too. And that's awesome. If they're able to pull in some new people, because they're going to need it. There is no doubt about it. Yeah, the Thunder Machine should be, listen, we will get very few classified vehicles at retail. And I've mentioned this 100 times before. And that is because they will sit there till they go on clearance. And if they go on clearance, it tells those big box stores, people don't want this. They're going to cut back on it. Look at the TIE Fighter. Look at the Snow Speeder. That's all I have to say. Maybe they'll do some for like BBTS, online retailers, but Thunder Machine, and this is why the Thunder Machine is a perfect Haslab. It's the perfect Haslab because one of my issues with doing a GI Joe Haslab is that you got to have something that is interchangeable, that can be changed. You can only do so much with a vamp. You can only do so much with the Mauler or the Mobat, right? It's a basic tank. The Dragonfly, I said, would be good because it has all these different loadouts from missiles to machine guns, and they did exactly that. Now, I didn't know they were going to do that. I'm not trying to say I'm not breaking anything, but you give people the Thunder Machine, the Thunder Machine as it was as the 80s, but at the same time, it was a kit bash to begin with. You could do anything with it. You could put a missile launcher on the back. You could give it a different type of jet engine. You could give it a Sky Striker engine if you wanted to. You could give it different 50 cals in the front. You could give it missile launchers in the front. You could do a different grill. You could do so much with it, yet you still have the original one, the original look if that's what you want. But then you have all these tiers that, hey, you know what? You want to make it look like this? You can. And I think it's marvelous. I think it's absolutely marvelous. So to me, that is the perfect Haslab, because you can give them, you have to give them, you'd have to give us, not them, have to give us Thrasher. You could do another Dreadnought that isn't as well known. Maybe Zartan's daughter, who is from the IDW, I believe. So there's so much that can be done with that. But I think that's perfect. And I think it's just going to get done. I think, and then you can, I think you could do so much with that. And then Zanya, yes. See, I know she was in the, I believe the IDW, but I don't remember if she was, I don't believe it. I don't know if she was if she's still in the comics or if she's actually canon. Bikinis are in third tier. Not if the Hasbro, not if the Star Wars team is doing it, because they're not going to give you a bikini Leia. Let's see here. I'm waiting for the. Oh yeah, So I personally will use like the bad figures from Valiverse. Those are my Serpentor troopers. So to me, if I like that figure, I would definitely be using that as his version of the bats to go against the bats. I think that is a really cool looking figure, at least from what we've seen of it. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. I want Buddha figure from. That still makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh so hard because it's like, I'm not going to do ninjas. And a samurai is not a ninja. I will admit that. But if anyone truly does believe that you weren't doing a samurai because you're missing out on this ninja craze, which is always going to be there, then, I mean, if you believe that, then I got some oceanfront property in Montana I want to sell you. Because dude, I think that figure is ugly as shit. I really do. I was yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that figure at all. I'm pulling away from the Valiverse. The Valiverse were really because I wanted I needed to fill in with the classified, and I will still be picking and choosing. As long as my buddy is still getting them, I will still be doing reviews of them. But I'm not all in on the line. I'll be picking and choosing. I don't even like away a lot of the. I don't like the snowtroopers. Although I do think the Steel Brigade snowtrooper looks pretty good, but I don't like that green that's in it. That just doesn't work for me. Someone said we have 88 likes, so 12 more likes, guys, and then next week we will give this spirit away live. So we have. Listen, I'm gonna go to midnight if I can ramble on for that long. If I can ramble on for that long. We're getting kind of stale right now with the news. We'll probably hit really hard, which will be fine next week because then I got like a week off. Matthew was saying he sees 87. So did someone unlike it? Either way, we are close. You're going to tell me all 63 people have hit that like button. I know that we get more than 100 people that flow through here because I can see it in the analytics. It's just not 100 people at one time. Let's see here. Muda Maid says, Lawrence, what is the number one classified figure? Let me think. I think all around for the figure that I like the most is it's the classified Storm Shadow. Still, it was my number one figure. If the weapons were better, it may have been the Tiger Force Outback. But for me, it's just like that Storm Shadow. Like there's a story to it for the first one that I got. It meant so much to me. The story that that I had with it, to get that figure, and how good he looks. Retro Storm Shadow does not count as classified, in my opinion. If it does not have a number on it, it is not classified. But I might actually give the nod to that one, to be honest. But yeah. And they've made so many good figures. Like what bothers me is like when people. I mean, I ask people. Here's my problem with Serpentor 878. I'm not going to pronounce that name. I never liked Serpentor, but he is a marvelous figure, and everything that he came with. He was worth the $80, the $80 price point, because he did come with. I mean, people were expecting like $120 for that thing. And it comes out to be, it comes out to be $80 with the Air Chariot. Not a different head sculpt, but a different piece, so you can make him look like the vintage figure, or you can make him look like the more modern figure. In my opinion, he's maybe just a little bit too big. Compared to all the other ones, considering Gung Ho and Roadblock are bigger than everyone else, and he towers over them. Yeah, Coco is by far better, in my opinion. But this Serpentor is better than any of the Cobra Commanders that have come out so far. Although I do think that the exclusive one with the cape and everything, I don't know why I'm having a complete blank of what it's called. I think that one looks marvelous. I really do. I think that one is really nice, to be honest. So where are we at in our likes? We were close. We were at like 96, I think. So I'm being a major show today, man. Like I pushing for that 100. I don't think I saw more than 70 people. 97, Matthew says. The problem with Beachhead and Spirit, and even though this is not a breaking point for me, they're not pinless. Stalker, I think people hate the Stalker head sculpt, and I don't understand it. I think that head sculpt is absolutely amazing. Now maybe you think it doesn't look like Stalker because Stalker looked like a black Frenchman in the O-ring. I've always thought he looked French, but that figure is awesome. But what I was saying earlier is so many people. I've heard so many people say like this team is awful. I even asked them, I'm like, what is awful about this team? I mean, I need to know what you see that is awful about it. Because when people try and say, yeah, well, they need to, they need to make up after that Falcon head sculpt. I'm like, they've done one really bad head sculpt, and that's Falcon. And let's be honest, like, that's not that bad. We have almost 100 figures, and there's one really bad head sculpt. I know a lot of people don't like CoverGirl. She has strong lines. That doesn't bother me because the face doesn't look bad. Some people don't like Flint. I think Flint looks awesome. Maybe he doesn't look like what people actually think Flint should look like. Rakondo looks awesome. Bazooka looks awesome. Dusty looks awesome. Even the original figures look really, really good. Oh, Thanos says we hit 100. Well, that is very interesting. I want to see this for myself. Will we hit 100 tomorrow, though? Will we hit 100? Because we're not doing 3 hours tomorrow. There ain't no way that I'm doing 3 hours tomorrow. That is awesome. You guys are... it still tells me 97 here, guys. So we got 3. Well, we still got some time. I wouldn't be surprised if people went and unliked it. Lenny and Emily are great. Look at the other lines at Hasbro. We got the best team. I agree. 100%. I agree that they are the best team. Yeah, someone went unliked it. It's so funny what people do. Like, this is funny what you said. Like, someone went unliked. Like, it's funny that people do that. Like I said, I don't really, because I'm not really into Valaverse that much. I mean, obviously follow it for the news. I don't really watch the 3POA. Now, if someone hits me up and says, hey, they're talking about this or they're talking about that, I'll watch it. But I've listened to them numerous times, and it's funny when, Analog Toys would be like, or all of them, but he says in most, be like, dude, if you want to come in and hit and hit the dislike button, you're still like telling the YouTube system, yeah, I'm watching. I don't have time to go in other people's streams that I don't like and pay attention to them. I have so many other things going on in my life, as I think all of you should too, that I'd rather sit there and focus on things that I like. Now, again, I don't really care for their personality, so I don't watch it. They were on Hella Dope Toys. I don't care to watch them, so I didn't watch a show that I watch all the time because I just don't really care to, hear it again. But that's just what you do. You just kind of stay away from, that type of stuff. So, but, when someone talks about something, I'll go on, and I don't care who it is, unless I really dislike the channel. I'll go in and see what they have to say. Now, I also go in when someone tells me, dude, this person said this, you got to hear it. Because sometimes you just can't believe it. All right, so I'm being told that we have over 100. So let's see if we actually have over 100 over here on my tablet. 101, guys. All right, so next week, on my last show before I go on vacation, I will do a giveaway. And I'm going to try and do it like the big YouTubers do it. So you come in on the stream, and you're gonna put your name in whatever they do. I'll ask one of the guys how they do it. It just gets put in, and then I'll put it in, and what will happen is we'll do the wheel of names, and then everything will probably glitch and everything, like it always does for me. And again, you have to be here though. If you're not here, then we're not going to do it. Hold on quickly. Usual Mike Television says hot takes are fun to watch on YouTube, except when they come from Island Boy. But if he deletes the video, did he really say it? That's the funniest thing, man. I'm sorry, man. So there are a few guys that I obviously will call out, and sometimes it's helpful because I did call out Viper Island for his merchandise that he was putting out. I've actually taken someone else's stuff, and then he either ripped it down or somebody contacted TeePublic and said, "Hey, this guy is taking other people's designs and trying to sell it." Which again, it just in general is hilarious that you would do something like that. Punk, what day will that be again? The giveaway will be next Monday. I go live every Monday at 9 p.m. Of course, in 2 weeks, I won't be because I'll be in Florida. It's killing me to actually miss a week because I have built like such a stance on, be live, be consistent. And I know it sounds weird. It's killing me to go, oh my God, I'm going to miss a week. And I'm even sitting there like, maybe I'll just go live for a little bit. But I need to step away and just enjoy myself in Florida. I don't think anyone's going to go anywhere, but the consistency thing is so big for me. Hey, you know what? Hey, listen, it's all fun. You know what? You get another one. I have lots of duplicate figures. If you're a part of, trying to do it, then great. That's, I want to include everyone. I want, listen, it doesn't matter if you already got it. I mean, and hey, you know what? Let's say you put your name in, and let's say you win, and you say, hey, you know what? I already got one. Roll again. That's just being good sport. Let's see here what Action says. You take that Monday off. It's going to force us all to go to different shows for Monday after. See, like stuff like that. Stuff like that hurts my confidence here. Like, so I'm giving away a figure so you guys come back. Maybe I should have done the giveaway for the week after that I'm coming back. No, I'm really not concerned. I mean, again, it's just, since, December, I started Black Friday giveaway. And then I wanted to do Mondays, and that was like, man. So I'm here every Monday. There's been a couple. One that I started at 9:30. There was one that I left in the middle of the show to go pick up my son. That one was actually pretty funny. I couldn't believe that there were still like 35 people still sitting here. They were just chatting amongst each other. Let's see here. Great. Punk forcing us to subscribe to other YouTubers. Can I tell you something, Whiskey? I had never seen you here, and when I saw you yesterday, I'm like, all right, dude, he's in live streams, man. Like, I need to get him over here. And then someone else had mentioned it. I do not go on other streams and promote my stuff. If somebody asks, like, hey, have you been doing lives or whatever, I'm going to say, oh yeah, I'm on Monday. But if you are a streamer and you have a live stream or you a channel or whatever, if you're in the chat long enough, someone will eventually click on you and they'll be like, oh shit, dude, you do a live stream, man. I'm going to follow this guy. Especially if you give some sort of enjoyment to it. Three. So Allison right here, right above you. So Allison was gracious enough to create one for me because you probably weren't watching when I was doing it. A few months ago, I sat there for like 4 hours and I just lost it. So I asked if anyone wanted to help. No one stepped up, and I get it. Like maybe you don't know how to do it. Maybe you're just like, hey, I don't want to deal with that. I don't blame anyone. She hit me up, and again, it's for the $2.99 channel members, and that's because again, you don't want a bunch of people in your Discord that you have to moderate 24/7. You want people that are actually going to be part of the channel, and I know a lot of people do it for their Patreons. So yeah, that's great and all, but some of these Patreons are $5. Some of these Patreons are like $25. I'm trying to create a nice group. I know we already have the Facebook group, but trying to learn my way around. So I know again. Before the show started, Dan had joined, and then there's a couple other guys, but I can send out. So, like, if you have a channel, you can send out community posts to specific, like, to channel members. So, whatever channel membership you're at, I can send it out. Now, I sent one out to the few guys that are in it, and I don't know if they didn't see it. They're not paying attention. They are starting to roll out where you see community posts on your phone. That's why a lot of people don't see community posts, because if you're not looking, a lot of times if you're not looking on certain devices, you won't see it. It's pretty stupid. Chaz is his battery ran out when waiting for that 100 to hit. Oh, Chaz, where the hell were you? I hope it didn't run out during running a in the middle of one of your memes, because if you're not following Chaz on Instagram, the best memes, BMW, have fun at Disney. Thank you very much for the super chat. Always appreciated. Always goes right back into the channel. Might be used for gas to get back from Disney. No, everything that you any super chats that I get, anything for the channel, it goes right back into the channel. You'd be surprised how YouTube is a weird ass thing. YouTube is a weird ass thing, to be honest. I must have missed it. How do I get Discord? I will send you a link to it. I'll send you the link to it. So I think I discussed with you that you kept popping up, and I knew you were a channel member, but your name was not highlighted. And then I realized that you were coming in and posting on a different account. So if you look on this account, if you go into the community tabs, you should be able to see where there's a link to it, because I sent out a link for everyone that is on that channel membership level. So I will send it out later on, not tonight. I will send it out a little bit later. How do we get into the Cook Island Discord? Does he have one? Okay, so so I mentioned it earlier. Okay, so now that we're here, so I have two different levels of channel memberships, and again, you've probably seen a lot of channel memberships, and I don't expect everyone to, because I know I'm a channel member on some. Okay, so there's a 99-cent that's basically to help support the channel. You get a little icon, your name turns green. Once we get so many, your names will alternate on the homepage. And and then you get shout outs. I always answer your questions, but it's basically to help support the channel. Just understanding the amount of time that someone works on doing their YouTube and doing their live streams and doing their videos and different things like that. The other thing is, so I have the second one that's $2.99, and what that gets you is you get the Discord. So it's a private Discord. So you get access to that. When I do a group of reviews, like if I have like 5 figures, I'll do them within like 2 days. I push one out every day. What I do then is I'll post them all, so then you can see them as they come out. So you get early access to that. I'll do some B-roll footage, some mistakes. And the other thing that I'm doing is I do have some stuff, some 3D prints that my buddy is printing that I'm going to be selling. So like I have this arsenal here. You've probably seen it in my back here. So this arsenal here, it opens up. Like this is $30. Get the case, which is like $8. It does open up. It actually stays on, so you don't have to worry about it. You got these cases here that are $10. If you're part of that channel membership, you'll get 10% off. So let's say you bought this and you're a channel member, you're going to get the $3 off. But yeah, it is. So it is much like the little armory. I talked to my buddy about it. He scaled them up because he said the little armory is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit smaller. And the one on BBTS is like $10 more. So that's an arsenal. Doesn't have the guns being an okay, well, possibly, I guess. It's a cabinet for your arsenal. Is that the Gridiron Studio? No, it's not. This is what prompted me to ask him, hey, can you print some of can we find some of these? Because we were looking at the Gridiron one, which I believe is like $45, and I think it looks really nice. But the biggest issue is it's $45, and then you got to pay for shipping. And he was able to print one up for me. And I have more than enough guns, Yeah, so I guess you're all right. It's not technically an arsenal. I guess it's just the whatever it's called. It's the cabinet, but it does have, as you can see up here, it has different slots, so you can put whatever you want on it. You can hold helmets on it. You can have pistols on it. The cabinet opens up so you can put stuff in there. This does come off, and it's modular, so you can move things around. And he's working on printing up side pieces to it. So, but yeah, the little armor I believe is foreign imports. They make all kinds of weapons, pretty high quality shit from Japan. Yeah. As soon as I showed that to a few guys, they mentioned that too. But everyone has said they're actually scaled small. He actually scaled that up, so it fits the 6-inch figures a little bit better. So everybody needs a side piece. I need just a piece. All right. So we're coming to 3 hours. I plan on going longer. Where's our Haslab at? So our Haslab is 22,146. And our lights are at, what's our lights at? I'm not going to do this. Either way, we've hit it, so we're going to give this thing away. This figure that I've been sitting on. I mean, I could also give away, I mean, if you don't want that, I could give away the retro carded Lady J that you can get at any Walmart. 105 DJ says. That is awesome. Thank you guys. Honestly, I have a feeling. Are there other tubers going right now? I know a lot of people had planned on going. I think tomorrow is going to be like absolutely crazy. let's see here. Gridiron shipping is only $4 since they are based out of Tempe. So where are you located at? I don't think I've ever asked you about that. But let's see. Yeah, it's flying. Yeah, there are so many people, and I know you're not. I've listened to you. You are a very rational and reasonable person. That's why I actually always enjoyed it. Man, there's a lot of Arizona guys, man. There's a lot of Arizona guys. PNC and Tony. Man, like there's a lot of Arizona guys, man. You guys should all go hang out. I didn't realize. For some odd reason, I know. Like I see. For some odd reason, I always thought you were in Canada for some reason, even though I can clearly see your picture there. You know what? Listen, I know who you're referring to. I actually had to stop watching. I used to think he was really funny, but I kind of got annoyed with some of his stuff. When people say like "dude looks like a lady" when they're referring to Lady J, does anybody remember the O-ring? It was one of the worst figures ever made. Ugliest. It is hideous. It is awful in so many ways. So I am from Arizona, eh? So you've been to Canada, eh? Because only someone that's been to Canada knows that. All right, guys, 54 people. So yeah, as I mentioned, if you are looking to get on the Discord, it is part of the $2.99 tier. I will mention it from time to time. I'm not going to continue to hammer it down people's throats. I think I already had one guy tell me that the show's kind of become a shill, which I didn't fully understand, but it's like one of those things where you're like, hey, you know what? YouTube puts these things here like super chats, super thanks to help support the I think for myself, like when I was mentioning the channel memberships, I think that's what it is. But YouTube does this, the super chats and everything like that, so you can help support the content creator, because there's a lot of time that goes into sitting in this chair. Like this chair is really starting to get beaten up pretty bad. Just from sitting my fat ass sitting in it so much. But yeah. Yeah, I had Matthew, I think I talked to you about the guy. I mean, I think he just thought I was shilling for myself. He's which I didn't understand, but the more I read about it, I'm like, I think that's what he thinks. But hey, you know what? Listen, if you want to support the channel, awesome. It's cool. We all appreciate it. Everyone that's been involved here. Again, when you do sign up for a channel membership, especially for like $2.99, you gotta be willing to give something back, and that's what I'm trying to do, especially with the Discord. And again, it's gonna take time to get it going. We know that, but I know like everyone has one. Geek Dad Life has one, and I think Toy Anxiety has one, and then I know. I think Painting all them, they all have like, so I mean there are so many people that have it, and there's only so much money to go out. So I fully understand it. I'm still going to give you the best content that I can give you guys, and hopefully you guys, again, the channel is growing. I see it every week, and I'm happy as hell that we are still that I'm doing the numbers that I'm doing. And what I mean by that is the viewership. I mean, yeah, I ramble on. I was talking to another creator earlier, and he made mention of some other content creators, and I was like, yeah, but they're boring. And He's like, hey, dude, they're friends of mine. I'm like, I'm not saying anything bad about them. I like weird because and I didn't wear glasses. I was like 40 years old, 39. Now I see myself without glasses. I think I look weird. But I made a comment to him like, yeah, they're boring though. And he was like, hey, they're friends of mine. I'm like, hey, I'm not like insulting them. There are people that don't like me. People I'm sure don't want to hear my voice. I get it. I don't even want to hear my voice. But I feel like, I'm going to keep giving everyone, I enjoy doing this, but I feel like I give something that people enjoy, especially considering I ramble here for 3 hours by myself, and sometimes it's easier than others. Other times I gotta see, I kind of gotta maybe slow down a little bit. And I don't read the comments nearly as much as I used to because you get lost. Shark Eyes here, really quick here. Heaven forbid you utilize the tools at your disposal as a content creator to promote your own channel. Yeah, but it is weird. Like, it is weird. Like getting into like channel memberships. It is weird to ask, like, oh hey, I have this channel membership, and it's like, all right, great. And it's like, people, you're like, oh, it's only 99 cents, but at the same time, it's like, well, you're on Geek Dead Life and you subscribe to theirs, and then you're on Toy Habits and you subscribe to theirs, and you're on, someone else. And next thing you know, you have like $12 in channel memberships, and you're just like, all right, well, it's not 99 cents anymore. It's now $23 that I'm spending on it. But yeah, but it to me, Shark, thank you very much. I love that you said that, but sometimes it seems weird. But I've talked to Matthew, and he said, dude, there's a guy that I don't remember what his name is, and I would say his name anyway. He goes, he won't start his streams till he makes like $100. He'll just leave an empty chair, and if he gets $100 in super chats, then he'll come in and start doing it. Which I don't know if I'm like, I think that guy's an asshole, or I'm like, that is genius. Like, would that work? Would that work if I say, hey, I'm going live at 9 as long as I have $100 in super chats? And until I get that, I'm not showing up. I can't see that working that well. But hey, Punk, I've enjoyed the first live stream and chat. I'll be back. Thank you. Listen, it is every Monday at 9 p.m., other than in 2 weeks when I will be in Florida. But I know the guys at Hella Dope Toys are like, dude, it's okay to take a day off. I'm like, I know, but it's so hard because you guys don't see this on the back end. You guys don't see how much time and effort I put into it. You see my low end review videos, right? And the truth is, I continue to do them like that because that is how people enjoy them. And what I mean by that is you're getting a real person. You're getting a real person that is giving their honest review. You're seeing it right as I open up. I've had people that are mad at me that are like, you need to take more time and pose a figure. Well, I can find 15 other guys that will review a figure, and the figures are put in perfect poses. How long did that take you? How was the figure? Are you lying about it? And thank you very much. Listen, the soundboard will definitely come, I think, once we get the new computer. I'm scared if I buy a soundboard every time I hit something that it would freeze up. But Anthony, thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. That's why you will be on tomorrow. Anthony is like part of the team, even though he doesn't know it. Does he get paid? But neither does Matthew. Neither do I, for that matter. Matthew told me from day one, you need a soundboard. And I'm not gonna disagree with that at all. But man, oh man, it's like I need to get sound tiles. I need to get a new light. Obviously, I need a new computer for many things. So it's okay, Punk. Take Monday off. Matthew, Tony, and I are going to start a live Monday show that week at 9 p.m. Hope it's okay. You know what? People would do that stuff. I'm not saying you guys would. I'm not saying you guys would. But no, like for me, it's like this is my little baby. Like I have my babies, obviously. They're not babies anymore. One's 17. Shit, dude, he's 17. My son turned 17 on Saturday. Isn't that crazy? 17. I don't know. I mean, it's one more year of child support. Anyway. One more year. One more year. My daughter's 14. So, like, this is just this is my baby. I think about it so damn much, putting so much time into it. By the way, Lawrence, did you get the Dusty, PP Guard, and Black Widow someplace else, or did Target deliver them early? Nope, I got them all in at Target. There's 55 people watching. Pop Finder works again. Don't tell anyone else. Pop Finder is working, and it is working. What Pop Finder says, from what I can tell, is what the Target inventory actually has. Like this. That is guilt right there. If you take Monday off, we are subscribing. Listen, I thought about going live for like a half hour if I'm free, and I still might. I'm gonna just pull my phone out and be like, "Hey guys, here in Orlando right now." Actually, on Monday we're going to Universal, so I guess that would depend on what time I get back, because we might be there till midnight or whatever. I think I am going to be doing different videos, just taking shorts, especially Universal and the other place, because I want to post some stuff over on Punks on Film. Because I'm like, well, dude, if I'm already at some place that specializes in, movies or like, we need to do shorts. I'm not good with shorts. If you haven't figured it out, I have not been able to figure out the art of shorts. Probably because I don't like pointing a camera at myself. Even to this day, like when I skate, I don't like asking somebody to film me. It feels weird, but we come from a generation that like people don't really care. Like they don't think twice about it. I don't have pictures with friends because it feels weird asking somebody, "Hey, take a picture of me and this guy." See, this is exactly what happened here. See, I was struggling to get to 3 hours. I get to 3 hours, and all of a sudden it's like, we're going. Still have 55 people watching. What is our like count still at 105? Not that it matters anymore, but it does matter. Punk, take the time, brother. Enjoy the time with the kids. Oh, believe me, I'm going to. I'm definitely going to. Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to go to. DJ says 107. That is awesome. So we were supposed to go to Florida again before the pandemic hit. Then the pandemic hit, and it obviously fucked everything up. And me, my ex, because the timeshare has 2 master bedrooms. So it's me, my ex, my stepdaughter, her fiance, and then our 2 kids. We're all going to go. The pandemic happened. She didn't want to go after that, and then we finally got to the point, and I'm like, "Do you want to go?" And she's like, I really don't have the money, or I don't want to. And I'm like, I'm taking the kids because our daughter doesn't remember it the last time we went. My son barely remembers it, and I'm like, listen, they're kind of at that age where this can be last trip. I want them to have some sort of magic when they're still kind of young. And my son being 17, he just wants to make a lightsaber. That's all he wants. He wants to build a fucking lightsaber for $200. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna enjoy it. as long as we don't fight. But my dad and my stepmom and my stepsister are flying down to stay with us for like 3 days since it is Thursday. They're flying in on Saturday and they're leaving on Wednesday. So there'll be some more family there. We'll have fun. Anyway, let's get out of here because it's been 3 hours since 16 minutes. I've shilled for my. Oh wait, yeah, usual Mike did say 107. You know, I saw you post this, and then I went and looked, and I saw DJ was there, and I'm like, God, I must be getting late. I saw DJ as usual Mike, and I look up and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I'm not going absolutely crazy just yet. So anyway, I've shilled enough for my channel memberships. I've shilled enough for 3D prints that I'm going to be selling. If you are interested in it. If you're interested in them, I'm going to tell you right now how to find it. If you're interested, hit me up on punkwithtoys@gmail.com. We're going to have other things to sell also. And these would be things that are in stock. So you can get them right away. I'll ship them out. Okay. So if you go to the Target website and you find the figure, right? You just hit the figure and you scroll down. You'll see information. I think it's information. Click that. It'll expand everything, and then you just scroll right down, and then you'll see the DCPI, and you'll see anything else that you need to put in Pop Finder or ask the Target employees. And Target employees love when you ask them. They absolutely love that. All right. Also, so tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, myself, Matthew Matson, Tony Figs, and Black Genghis will be going on at 11 to close out the Haslab. I'm sure there's going to be 300 other YouTube channels, but you guys are going to come in here because it's going to be fun. Then Thursday with the Friend, PNC is going to be joining me. If you haven't checked out Thursday with the Friend, we don't really talk toys. It's talking with somebody else in my community, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube or wherever it is, just getting to know them. Because one thing that I've always wanted to know when I'm in chats is I want to know, like, hey, who the hell is, this Whiskey Tango Foxtrot? Like, I want to know more about him, and I'm sure other people do. So this Thursday, I will be talking live with PNC, and we're going to get to know him. So anyway, I am going to get out of here. I really do mean it this time. Anyway, thank you guys for the super chats, channel memberships, all that good stuff. You guys are absolutely wonderful. I will see you guys tomorrow. And next Monday, it is next Monday, we will do the giveaway, and I will figure out all the logistics of how we're going to do it. So, all right, guys, have an absolute wonderful night if it's not after midnight where you're at. And I'm trying to find the exit music. So have a great time. You know it's all